It was an ambush.
How many did you save?
Just like a dream.
You did the only thing you could do. And you lost.
Like a dream.
Look, we're still in this thing.
The day you walked away.
But we have no idea what we're dealing with.
Unfortunately.
Things are getting worse around here, aren't they?
Boyd, we're out of food.
Too many things are changing here. I have to remember.
Remember what?
What's missing?
Nothing that I've been through is possible.
I think you're here for what's in the basement.
This place will not break us. We can still win. But the only way we go home is together.
Hello. Get them on, go! The game here is rigged. Why can't they leave us alone?
No matter what this place throws at us, we're gonna find our way home.
Everybody just talks about how afraid they are of dying. Well, I don't think that's the worst thing that can happen to you here.
Hello?
Like a dream.
You looking for these?
Into my life.
You can't save them all.
But things are really how they seem.
Where is everyone?
Oh
my God.
The night everyone died. That was the day that I met the boy in white.
You know the boy in white.
Run on the hill! Get back to the bus!
You looking for these?
Why can't they leave us alone?
And welcome all to another edition of the Fromville Pregame Show. And we are getting closer and closer now, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 4 hitting our screens there and back again. And after episode 3 being a little bit of a slower episode, definitely a little bit more of an episode that kind of was setting some things up for future episodes, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how these events are going to play out in episode 4. What's going to happen with this ambulance when it arrives in town? Who is going to survive the ambulance? Who is not going to survive? Are these EMTs just absolutely toasted already? Do they have red shirt written on their forehead? Or will one or maybe more of them potentially survive? Are we going to get the long-awaited and much anticipated reunion between Victor and his long-lost father? Will Tabitha reunite with her family? Lots of questions heading into this episode, and I cannot wait to see how it plays out. But welcome one, welcome all. We are less than 3 hours away now, just 2 hours and 45 minutes from now. Episode 4 will be loaded up. So I am certainly ready. I know you guys are ready in the chat. Snug, are you ready, my friend?
Yeah, I'm pretty ready. Last episode feels like they kind of shook the box and threw out a few more puzzle pieces for us. So hopefully we'll get some answers this week.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Speaking of answers, we have this highly anticipated scene between Victor and Sarah as well. What kind of story is Victor going to be telling to Sarah? Is he going to shake loose some kind of memory for Victor? Are we going to get some kind of answer for the town's past, the town's history? I noticed that they were throwing a flashback scene to the 1978 massacre and when Victor first met the boy in white. So I wonder, is that the kind of story Victor is going to be telling to Sarah? Are we going to get some kind of revelation, some kind of new answer as to what really maybe happened during this 1978 massacre? I can't freaking wait, man. I
Yeah, we got
cannot
the
wait.
suitcase. We got the suitcase.
Yes.
Who knows what that suitcase is that he dug up? But they've been hinting at that throughout the season because he's kept measuring out the steps from the
Yep.
house, and they finally showed that that's what he was looking for.
Yes, he is unearthing something from his past, this mysterious suitcase. And I know some people have already seen a little sneak peek inside
Mm-hmm.
the suitcase. And MGM, they love dropping some spoilery pictures even before the episode drops, which is a little infuriating at times. But if you don't mind spoilers, that's totally cool. And it's not really a huge spoiler; it's kind of a light, mild spoiler. But it is something I wish I didn't see. But no,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what's going to be going on. Like what's going on with this lunchbox? What is inside this lunchbox? This suitcase, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of memories is it going to shake loose for Victor? Is he going to see something in this suitcase that's going to shake loose a memory similar to how his drawings bring back memories for him? I cannot wait to see what this thing is really going to be about. What revelations are we really going to get to see? But yes, Hollywood Pineapple and everybody else, I would recommend that. I mean, maybe not all the time, but when it comes to Saturday and Sunday, I know I certainly need to retrain my brain to stay as far away from Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook on Saturday and Sunday. Because it's usually on Saturday, like 12 hours before the episode actually drops. That's when they tend to drop these kind of spoilery pictures. They did it last week with the bracelet. They famously dropped a frickin' picture of the bracelet before the episode even dropped, which was a little disappointing to see them drop that early. I feel like that would have been a really huge revelation if the fans could have just seen that while watching the episode as opposed to seeing it ahead of time. And this week, yes, they spoiled a little bit some of the contents that are inside the suitcase. And again, I wish I didn't see it. But again, it's just one of those things where I just wanted to give people a heads up. If you don't want any of those spoilers, and I know some of them aren't really huge spoilers, and I know some people don't mind spoilers either, and that's totally cool. But if you are one of the fans that doesn't want any of those little spoilers and you kind of want to go in clean, I would recommend probably just staying away from social media on Saturday and Sunday because it's all over the place on Saturday and Sunday. No, I did not see the episode. I haven't seen any of the episodes early. I decline all early access to the show because I want to watch each episode with each and every one of you every single week. I do not want to see the episodes early. So I will continue to decline early access. If it is offered to me again next year, I will decline it. But no, I haven't seen any of the episodes. But MGM, the official MGM account or the official From social media account, they dropped a picture today, and in the picture was a little snippet of some of the things that were inside the suitcase, which again isn't the craziest spoiler in the world, but it is one of those things where the entire fandom has been speculating and guessing and theorizing as to what is in this suitcase. So to drop that picture before the episode even aired, again, not the biggest spoiler in the world, but more than I wanted to see, I guess, before I go into the episode. And I know other people kind of feel similar. So no, I haven't seen any of the episodes early, and I'm super glad that I haven't. I love just exploring the show with each and every one of you every week and seeing what the heck we're gonna get this week. But no, that would be my only suggestion for anybody who doesn't want small, light spoilers. Just maybe stay away from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts on Saturday and Sunday because that's when they tend to kind of drop these things. But again, some people like spoilers, and that's totally fine. That is absolutely fine. And I've even been thinking about putting a separate channel in our Discord. So if people do want to discuss some of these spoilers, they'll have their own channel to do it in. That way people that don't want to see the spoilers won't accidentally scroll past and see it when they're in the Fromville section in the Discord and things like that. So I'll probably set up a spoiler talk channel in the Discord. That way anybody who does want to talk about these pictures that they seemingly are probably going to continue to drop every Saturday, you guys have a place where you can talk all the spoilers that you want, and people that don't want to see the spoilers won't see it pretty much. So I'm trying to be as accommodating as possible to everybody, I guess. But no, That is it. That is all that is on the dock. And again, it wasn't really a huge spoiler. It was really just kind of showing some of the contents of the inside of the suitcase. But it is something that the entire fandom has been kind of speculating and theorizing on. So it was a little weird to show that before the episode drops. But no, not a huge spoiler by any means. Not a big one.
Dana Marie's
You know?
dropping some gifted memberships.
Yes, Dana Marie is
Got one, then
gifting
two.
memberships already. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Dana Marie, for gifting the memberships. And welcome to everybody who has maybe just hopped on over here from the Dana and Scarlett pregame show. Awesome stuff. Glad to see everybody here. And thank you so much, Dana, for the gifted memberships. Wow, that's incredibly generous of you. Wow, 3 gifted membership.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Holy cow. It looks like Michael Johnson is now a member. Rodney George is now a member. And Breezy K is now a member. Welcome one, welcome all. So glad to have each and every one of you here. And of course, anyone who has become a new member, today is a fortuitous day to become a member because we just dropped some all new Fromville emojis, including the highly requested Dale emoji. That is right, guys. The Dale emoji is finally here. It's been crazy. We've been getting a lot of requests for, not a lot, but at least enough that it's been noticeable, requests for a Dale emoji. And again, I have to blame my pal Star for starting this whole trend, saddling me with Dale super early on in the season. Apparently, I am Team Dale, and I have no choice in the matter. So thank you for that, my pal Star. You are such a pal indeed.
He's the key to everything.
He might be the key to everything. You might be right. You might be right. But no, the Dale emoji is officially uploaded. Again, anytime I see requests from the members, especially if it's, similar requests of the same character, I'm always going to try and make that happen. So the Dale emoji is officially up, and you guys can have as much fun with you want with that Dale emoji. And every time I see it, it just makes me want to play this clip again.
This is a really bad idea. There's nothing else strong enough to pry that trap open. You really want to start pulling apart the ancient tower of holy scary shit? I'm sure whoever built it won't mind. Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
I think
you really want to
mind.
start pulling apart the ancient tower of holy scary shit? Gotta love it. Got to love it. But yeah, there it is, guys. The Dale emoji is up and running. And I figured while throwing up the Dale emoji, I figured I would upgrade some old ones. We've had pretty much the same Boyd emoji since season 2. So we got a brand new Boyd emoji to replace the old one. We got an all new Victor emoji. We replaced the Jade emoji. So there's an all new Jade emoji as well. And there is now a brand new Boy in White emoji as well, along with the rest of the ones that we have already had here. So yeah. Have fun, guys, and of course, sorry, go ahead.
Boy in White got recast, so we had to recast him too.
Well, I thought he got recast too, and apparently, and a lot of people in the chat were pointing this out to me. They must have done some kind of CGI kind of de-aging in that one scene because apparently it is still the same actor, Vox Smith, who played him in season 2. And I thought for sure they recast him because he looked totally different in those seasons, in that one season 3 scene.
Yeah, he did.
But apparently they must have done something in the post-production and kind of maybe de-aged him a little bit because to make him look a little younger. But apparently, yeah, it's the same actor. I thought it was a totally different one too. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the Boy in White character, isn't it? Like if they're continuing to intend this character to be portrayed by a boy, then at some point they're going to have to recast him. I mean, that kid's getting older and older. He's shooting up like a weed. We're seeing the same thing happen with Ethan as well. Ethan looks like he's 5 years older now than when he started in season 1. And in the timeline on the actual show, continuity wise, it's only been a few weeks since, maybe a month at most since the Matthews family even arrived. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. Will they at some point write some kind of time jump into the show to explain why Ethan looks so much older? Could they potentially even recast that role as well? I don't know. I don't know, but that's one of the dangers or one of the problems that sometimes you run into when you have a long-running series and you cast young actors in roles that are meant to be portrayed over an extended period of time. It happens, kids grow like weeds. What can you do? What
Hopefully
can you do?
Hopefully they're shooting season 4. I don't know if
Yeah,
they are yet or not,
hopefully.
but be a good
Nothing
idea.
yet. No, we haven't gotten any official confirmation that they are getting renewed for a season 4 yet. I imagine we will. I mean, it seems like this
Yeah.
is clearly becoming MGM's most popular show. So I would be highly surprised if we didn't get a season 4. I think at this point it's just a matter of when they choose to announce it and when they choose to start filming. But hopefully, if they announce it soon and they start filming early 2025, we could potentially get season 4 by the end of 2025, right around there. I'm not anticipating a year and a half wait in between seasons 3 and 4 like we waited in between seasons 2 and 3. The writer strike is really what kind of delayed season 3 and why it took so long for season 3 to come around. We're not going to have another strike for at least another 7 years or so until they renew contracts again. But again, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So hopefully, most likely, season 4 we will get a lot quicker than we waited for season 3. It probably won't be it won't be a crazy wait like it was.
Yeah, they seem to be doing
But
okay with the pacing with that. I mean, they didn't send Tabby the Real World for it long enough to satisfy me, but at least it was shorter than they sent what's his name to Harrenhal in House of the Dragon.
Very true. This
do
is very
nothing the
true.
whole
You
season,
are right. I can't argue there. I cannot argue there. Oh, look at that. I just got a freaking update. Ravener, our pal Ravener, is always on it. The dude is an absolute professional. Ravener has already gone ahead and created a spoiler channel inside the Discord.
Cool.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Ravener. I appreciate that, my friend. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Anybody who does want to talk a little bit of more spoilery filled talk about Fromville, you guys will have all the opportunity to do that. You can do it right in the Discord in the all new spoiler talk section. So thank you for that, my friend. Thank you, Ravener. Appreciate you.
Nice.
Appreciate you. Episode come out tonight. Yes, the episode does come out tonight. If you are an MGM Plus subscriber or if you're watching through Amazon, yes, we should have the episode at around midnight Eastern Standard Time, which again is around 2.5 hours from now. Episode 4 should be loaded up. And we are going to hang out from now until then, pretty much like we do every Saturday for our pregame shows. We're going to hang out, talk a little bit of predictions for episode 4. I want to hear from you guys in the chat and from my awesome panelists as well. What are you guys expecting to see in season 4? What are you hoping to see in episode 4? What kind of scenes do you think we're going to get? Who's going to survive from this ambulance ride? Who's not going to make it? We are going to dive into all of that. But first, we have a very special night tonight indeed, because our pal, member of the Fromily, Caitlin, it is her birthday today. So I wanted to take this time to wish a very, very special happy birthday to Caitlin. So awesome to see you here. And I'm super honored that you chose to spend a little portion of your birthday night with us. I'm super grateful and honored that you chose to do that. Thank you. So if everyone in the chat can, wish Caitlin a happy birthday. It's so awesome to see that. And anybody else in the future, if you guys ever have any birthdays coming up, never hesitate to let me know. I always love giving a nice shout out to anybody who has a birthday coming around. And just wanted to say happy birthday to Caitlin. And I hope that this year and this birthday brings everything that you possibly want. And hopefully you get it all. So welcome. Welcome. And thank you for spending some time with us on your sacred birthday night. Very much appreciate you. Awesome stuff. Yeah, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So yeah, happy birthday, Caitlin. Awesome. I love seeing that. Love seeing that. Let's see who else we got in this awesome chat, and then we will dive into the festivities. How do you get the emojis? The emojis are available for anyone that is a member of the channel. There are 2 different levels of memberships. You can choose either one you want, but if you anyone who becomes a member of the channel has access to all of the custom from emojis. And of course, anyone who is a member, if you have any special requests for new from emojis that you want, always throw them in the comment sections after the stream is over. And I will always try to make that happen. I try to be as accommodating as possible. You guys are the members of the channel. You guys are the ones that are, the highest supporters of the channel. So the very least I could do is give you guys the emojis that you want. So if any member ever has any specific request for a emoji that you want, throw it into the comment section after the stream is over, and that's usually where I have the best chance of seeing it. And if it's possible for me to make an emoji out of the request, I will definitely do it. Hence the new Dale emoji that we got. We got a lot of requests for the freaking Dale emoji, and hey, you guys want a Dale emoji, you got a Dale emoji. I am totally cool with that. So yeah, that is how you get access to the custom emojis. They're available to anybody that becomes a member of the channel. We got Strega in the house. What is up, Strega? Good to see you as well, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. See Julie B in the building. I see Alex Common in the building. What is up, Alex? Good to see you as well. I see Scarlett Fever. What is up, Scarlett? Always good to see you as well. I see the Grumbledore is in the building. What is up, Grumbledore? See Delsenia in the house, one of our awesome, awesome resident mods. Delsenia and Kiwi just absolutely hold it down in the chat. Could not be more thankful for the awesome mods we have on this channel. Thank you so much, and welcome, 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 welcome. We got Hollywood Pineapple in the building. Not just any pineapple, the Hollywood Pineapple. Yes, love it. Welcome, man. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, my friend. We got Makida in the house. What is up? Good to see you as well. I see King Hoop in the building. See Amy Bones is here as well. I see Breezy K in the building. They can kill off Ethan too. Oh no. We've actually been seeing kind of a lot of this, surprisingly. There's been a lot of people that have been saying, similar comments that they wouldn't be too mad if Ethan got killed off. I don't want to see Ethan go, personally. I think the kid's going to have some kind of role to play, but it's been funny to see these comments, though, nonetheless. You guys know us. All comments are welcome, that within respectful manner, of course. But yeah, who knows? Is Ethan going to be on the chopping block? A lot of people seem to think that Ethan might become the next Victor, that he's kind of heading down maybe a similar path to Victor. And some even theorize that maybe that's how the show is going to end. And, at the very end, it'll end with everybody dying and Ethan kind of becoming the next Victor, just stuck alone in this town with everybody else dead. And it's a pretty morbid ending. It's definitely not the kind of triumphant ending that I think a lot of us are hoping to see, but certainly would be a subversion of expectations, to say the least, if everybody gets killed off and poor Ethan is just left here alone to become the next Victor. But who knows? Who knows what's possible when it comes to Fromville? We got Bill D in the house. What is up, Bill D? Yeah, they would have to address the aging for Ethan or recast him or kill him off. Honestly, yeah, Bill, I think eventually it'll probably come down to they'll have to do something, because, yeah, these kids, they just start growing like weeds. And if Ethan is meant to be the same age in season 3, 4, and 5 that he's meant to be in season 1, then yeah, after a while, the audience is going to start to really notice the difference. So is it one of those things where you kind of just suspend disbelief, knowing that it is a TV show and knowing the logistics behind filming a TV show? Do you kind of just suspend disbelief every once in a while? Or do you kind of hope that they might keep continuity in place and maybe, put right in some kind of time jump or recast or something like that? I don't know how they'll play it, but yeah, it should be interesting to see what they do, at least. Because yeah, that kid's growing like a weed. Mm-hmm. He's gonna have, at this point, by season 5, he's gonna have a beard and he's gonna be pounding down freaking 40s. He's gonna be drinking a beer and he's gonna be at freaking the Colony House bar with Jay sipping down the potato vodka. And by season 5, now.
Yeah, making a pass at Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see what they do. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff, guys. We got Stephanie in the building as well. What is up, Stephanie? Good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. See Delilah in the house. Will Ethan be a goner soon? Yeah, a lot of these comments we've been seeing lately. A lot of people seem to think Ethan might be on the chopping block. And again, maybe he will be. Maybe he will be. Who knows? Who knows? We got Mild Majorum in the house. It's possible. I mean, at this point, and we talked a little bit about this last week. and we, and other weeks as well in terms of plot armor on the show. Is anybody, 100% safe? Like, are there any characters that you can look at and you think there's no possible way this character is going to get killed off this season at least? And I see a few characters like that, like Boyd, for instance.
Yeah.
I definitely think Boyd's not going anywhere anytime soon. But I mean, I've said this many times in the past. I do ultimately feel that that is where Boyd's storyline is ultimately heading. I don't see Boyd surviving this story in the long run. And I could definitely see him heading for some kind of big heroic sacrifice in the end, where he kind of sacrifices himself to save everybody else, to get everybody else out of the town kind of thing. I don't know why. I just have this, just a gut feeling, but I just don't feel that Boyd is going to survive this entire story. I feel like that is where Boyd's story is ultimately going, for some kind of heroic sacrifice. And maybe even Victor as well. And I know Ravener brought up an interesting one in terms of Victor having like a kind of profound Hodor moment, the whole hold the door moment, where Victor is also put in a similar situation where he kind of has to sacrifice himself to save everybody else. I could totally see Victor's storyline ending that way as well.
Yeah,
But in terms of a few characters, and I guess that'll be one of the first questions we ask. I'd love to hear from everybody in the chat, and from you as well, Snug. Do you think, like, with the exception of Boyd, because I think a lot of us think Boyd isn't going to die, are there any other characters that you guys look at on From that you think are 100% safe, at least this season? We have heard from the showrunners that we are going to be losing a few of our most beloved characters. We've lost Tien Chen so far, but that still stands to reason. We're probably at least going to be losing one more beloved character. What do you guys think? Are there any characters that you think are 100% safe and are definitely not going to be killed off this season? Who do you think's the safest, Snug? And let me know in the chat as well, guys. Who do you guys think is safe this season and definitely will not die? What do you think?
Tabby. Tabby is 100%
Honestly,
safe. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably where I would go as well. I mean, between me, I think it's Tabitha and Jade. I don't think Jade's going to be going anywhere at all this season. And I think another part of me and I know I mentioned this in the past, but the whole Jade hair, theory that's going on. Usually when actors are on an extended series like this, sometimes they'll have a clause in their contract where they can't cut their hair or their beard too short just for continuity purposes. And thanks to Dana and Scarlett Marie, who got the awesome actor who plays Jade, David Alpay, to wish me a happy birthday a few weeks ago. It looks like he still has his grizzled hair and his grizzled beard, which to me is an indication that he most likely still has some more filming to do if they do get picked up for a season 4. So that tells me Jade is most likely going to survive this season. Again, just a tinfoil theory, just based on some of the things I've seen in previous productions. I often point to the Sons of Anarchy thing. Sons of Anarchy also had a similar clause in their contracts for their actors where they were not allowed to cut their hair and their beards. And most famously, the character who played Opie Winston, one of the most beloved characters on Sons of Anarchy. When season 4 was getting ready to premiere, people started spotting the actor who played Opie out in real world with all of his hair cut and all of his beard gone. And that led a lot of people to think, holy crap, is Opie going to get killed off in season 4? And sure as shit, when season 4 came around, he got freaking killed off. And it's funny, too, because the person that killed Opie off was Harold freaking Perrineau. The actor Harold Perrineau was actually the villain of Sons of Anarchy that season, and he was the one who was responsible for Opie's death. So it's pretty funny how these things kind of come full circle, but sometimes, now not every time, but every once in a while, that can be an indication as to if a character is going to get killed off a show or not. If you see them walking around the real world and their hair is just completely cut off, that tells you that continuity purposes, they don't need that hair for future filming. And again, it's not a foolproof kind of thing, but it is something you can kind of look out for. So when I saw Jade, or the actor playing Jade, David Alpay, with his hair and his beard still a grizzled mess in that video, that told me that, okay, he's still got some filming left to do. He's not going to die this season. But no, Tabitha's another good one. I think Tabitha is incredibly important.
Yeah.
I think we've only begun to scratch the surface as to what her overall storyline is going to be. We still need to figure out what is her connection to the Kavanaugh family. I mean, we're seeing these kind of clear things pop up every once in a while that are showing some kind of weird connection that Tabitha has to the Kavanaugh family. I mean, it seems like she might be the next chosen one after Miranda to save the Onkui children. So I feel like until they resolve all of that, Tabitha's not going anywhere. So that's a good choice, Snug. I think you're right there. I don't think Tabitha's going to go anywhere this season. That is a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good pick. But what about you guys? Let us know. Sound off in the chat. What characters do you guys think will not be killed off this season? Who do you think will definitely be making it through to the end of season 3? Who is going to make it? Yeah, Opie said the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, R.I.P. Opie. I mean, what a good character Opie was, right? I mean, that death scene nearly broke me. And anyone who was a longtime watcher of Sons of Anarchy, you know exactly what I mean. That freaking scene was so gut-wrenching to watch, the death scene of Opie. Just the whole way that it played out, the way that he kind of just offered himself up and sacrificed himself so Jax wouldn't die. Just such a good freaking scene, man. Such a good scene. Yeah, R.I.P. to OP. R.I.P. to OP. But yeah, let's see what you guys were saying. Who do you think is not going? Who do you think is definitely going to survive? Kenny. That Kenny's a good one. I find it. I mean, I think it would be very savage if they wiped the entire Tien Chen just off the face of the earth all in one season. So I think that's a pretty safe bet as well. I think Kenny's probably safe for this season. I mean, he just lost his mom. He lost his father in season 1. He lost his relationship with Christy when her fiance showed up. He almost lost his relationship with Boyd. Yeah, I think at least for this season, Kenny's safe. So that's a good one.
That's only one thing he hasn't lost. He'll never lose it.
What's that? What's that, Snug?
His
What's
virginity.
The one thing he's not going to lose? Okay, his V card. Gotcha. I think Ethan is safe. Yeah, Ethan. Yeah, that's another good choice. Again, I mean, I know a lot of people are anticipating a death scene for Ethan, but I think he's safe. I think Ethan's going to be all right for a little while. Woodrow says, I think the Matthews are safe. Yeah, the entire Matthews family. Yeah. Again, they do seem to be central characters to the show. Boyd is one of the main protagonists on the show. But if you talk to the writers and the head of MGM, they always kind of talk about the Matthews family being the central characters of the show. They don't usually bring up Boyd. They usually bring up the Matthews family as being like the main characters. So yeah, I think most of them are going to be safe for a little while at least. For a little while. Victor is safe, says Breezy K. Honestly, Victor's one of the ones I'm worried about. I don't think he's going to die off this season, but I feel like Victor's one of those characters who's already kind of living off borrowed time a little bit, because we heard all those reports early on that stated that the character of Victor was apparently never really meant to be a main character on the show. Apparently, they almost killed him off in season 1. We heard a lot of those rumors early on that he wasn't really ever meant to be a main character. So that leads me to believe it's like, okay, is he already living on borrowed time maybe? So I'm a little worried about Victor. I mean, again, I think he's safe this season, but I will be, once we get to season 4 and 5 and beyond, hopefully, I'm going to be worried about Victor. I don't know. Something about Victor, doesn't sit right with me. Either him getting killed off or it getting revealed that Victor might be a little bit more than we were led to believe. That maybe he doesn't even know. I think that's possible too. Yeah. I mean, in terms of Harold Perrineau, the actor. Whoops, excuse me. The Harold Perrineau, the actor, has apparently stated that by the end of season 3, there will be one character that the fan base really, really likes that we're going to start looking at in a more suspicious light, apparently. So it seems like one character is going to start to be revealed as a little bit more than we originally thought. And part of me wouldn't be surprised if that character is Victor. He's been here for so long. There's so much we just don't know about him. And I don't think it'll be anything in the sense where Victor's a mole or anything like that. I don't think it's going to be anything that kind of surface level. But I wouldn't be surprised if Victor has maybe slowly been influenced by some kind of outside force, and even Victor doesn't know he's being influenced. Like maybe he's being used as some kind of chess piece, some unwitting chess piece, and even he doesn't understand the full extent of it. We still don't really know how he's losing all of these memories. Is it just related to trauma? Is it something a little bit more? Again, part of me wouldn't be too surprised if Victor was kind of slowly being manipulated by something behind the scenes, and again, maybe even Victor isn't even aware of it, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about Vic.
I tend to think that he will make it to the end and will kind of stay. They'll break the spell of the pocket universe or whatever it is, and he'll decide to stay there. That's
I
kind
like
of
that
what
idea
I
too.
see it.
I kind of like that idea. I mean, because it does seem like Victor looks at this place like it's his home. I mean,
Yeah.
and even in season 2, when Jade is like pressing him for answers, and he's like, don't you want to know? Don't you want to go home? And we get that great
This is
freaking
my
line
home.
from Scott McCord. This is my home, and it really does paint a really interesting picture into the insight of Victor's psyche, where as nightmarish as this place is, as horrific as this place is to live in, it's still the only home Victor has ever known, kind of thing. So it's an answer. I think it's another pretty interesting testament to the human condition and how adaptable humans are. As horrific as this place is, we are seeing that characters are clearly able to adapt to this place and come to even not want to leave it. And I think we see that in Victor's case, but I also think we see that in Donna's case as well in season 1. Donna very much kind of, we saw her reaction to when Jade and Jim were building the radio tower at the prospect that they were potentially going to get rescued. Donna was freaking out. I mean, you could really see that Donna did not want to lose this special bond that she has with everybody at Colony House. She looks at Colony House as her family. It's just one giant family to her. So even Donna didn't really seem like she was in the biggest hurry to leave this place, because I imagine she probably doesn't have a whole lot to go back to. I mean, her sister's gone. We don't know if she's got any other extended family. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. But we shall see, guys. We shall see. Will Victor make it? Will he not? We got some other guesses. We got Kenny. Yeah, Kenny's another one. Boyd, definitely safe. I definitely think Boyd's going to be safe. Kenny is 100% safe this season. Ethan is also safe. So we got a lot of Ethans and a lot of Kennys that people think are definitely not going to get killed off. Awesome. Ellis is definitely safe. That's a good one, Princess B. Yeah, I think you're right. I definitely think you're right there as well. I mean, I feel like we've only really begun to scratch the surface of what Ellis's storyline is. So yeah, I could definitely see Ellis not getting killed off for sure. We got some Dales in the house. Yeah, maybe Dale's going to be safe as well. We got some more Jades, got some more Victors. Victor better tell all before he dies. Yeesh, I hope so. Sarah DED this season from Lord Ravener. Now there is an interesting one. And I guess that'll be the next question. So, I mean, as far as we think of characters that are definitely safe, Julie's going to be safe. That's another one. Yeah, I think Julie's going to be okay. That's a good one. I think she'll be all right. But I guess that's another question. Who do you guys think isn't going to be safe? Because again, we have heard from Jeff Pinker, the creator of the show, the showrunner, John Griffin is the creator. And Jeff Pinker is the showrunner. We have heard from him state that we are going to be losing a few of our most beloved characters, not just one, but a few of our most beloveds, which again has definitely led a lot of us to believe that we're at least going to get 2 major character deaths in season 3. We've already got one in Tien Chen. So who else do you guys think is on the chopping block? Who will not make it out of season 3? Who is going to get killed off? Who is going to be the next beloved character that is going to get killed off? Who is not going to make it? Let's see what else we got. What about Elgin and Bacta? They need to develop their storylines. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely, Breezy K. I think we really need to learn a lot more about Bacta in particular. I feel like they kind of started to set something interesting up with her character at the end of season 2, having her, having it revealed that she has this weird connection to this place already, where apparently she was the only one that had ever heard that weird nursery rhyme back in the real world before she even got stuck here in Fromville. And that led a lot of people to think that maybe she was actually a previous resident in Fromville and escaped and didn't even know it. I don't know if that's the case. I think she will probably get revealed to have some kind of weird connection to this place, but I don't know what that is. But yeah, we got to learn a little bit more about Bacta. How does her grandmother know about this nursery rhyme? Does she have some kind of weird connection to this place? And Elgin as well. I mean, we got to learn a lot more about Elgin. I feel like the Elgin storyline with the whole kimono-wearing ghastly entity monster, I feel like that whole storyline is only just beginning. Man, oh man, oh man, the creepy, ghastly entity. But yeah, there's still so much that we need to learn there. We have no idea what's going on, but I think Elgin has a little bit more to do. I think he's got a little bit more to do. I don't think Elgin will get killed off, at least not this season. I think he's safe for a little bit. Alrighty, let's see what else we got. Dale isn't safe, says Woodrow Nichols. Yeah, Dale could be an interesting one. I mean, we did see that the kind of ominous scene, didn't we? At the end of episode 2, or in episode 2, when we saw Jade absolutely foolishly, you would think if anybody was a little bit smarter than this, it would be someone like Jade. Especially considering Jade was the character who, upon entering Cannibal Village, it was actually Jade who pointed out that these weird totem things could potentially be some other form of talisman, maybe keeping evil out of this little village. And of course, it's pretty ironic that he ends up being the character later in the episode that messes with, as Dale puts it, the ancient tower of holy scary shit. And that'll give me any excuse to play this clip.
This is a really bad idea. There's nothing else strong enough to pry that trap open. You really want to start pulling apart the ancient tower of holy scary shit? I'm sure whoever built it won't mind. Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
Shit. Jade. I love Jade. He's my favorite character. But boy, oh boy, do I think he made a big mistake there. And I know a lot of you guys think the same. Jade should not have messed with, as Dale puts it, the ancient tower of holy scary shit. Should not have messed with that, Jade. I do get the feeling that there might be some kind of consequence to Jade meddling with the totems. Will that consequence happen in this episode? Will that consequence happen in a later episode? Still remains to be seen. But we do know from the episode 4 stills, which I will pull up here and we can take a look at. We do know definitively from the episode 4 stills that in this episode, Jade, Kenny, Christy, and all of them, they are spending the night in Cannibal Village. Here they are at night in the cabins. So I wonder, will Jade, Christy, and Kenny, Dale, and company, will they have some kind of weird encounter in their time spending their night in Cannibal Village? Did Jade knocking down that totem unwittingly kind of make the protection that was in this village, the protection that the totems were maybe generating, is it now null and void? I don't know. But again, part of me would be very surprised if we don't get some kind of weird occurrence in episode 4 with them spending the night in Cannibal Village, especially now that Jade knocked those freaking things down. I think something's coming. Something is going to happen. I hope someone knocks and says, "I do mind." That would be creepy, wouldn't it? Because yeah, I mean that's a good point, Caitlin. I mean that's exactly what Jade says. Whoever built these won't mind. And yeah, we hear someone knock on the door. "Hey, I do mind that you touched that asshole." That would be good. That would be good. And yeah, super dumb, right, Susie? I mean, what are you doing, Jade? Someone like Jade, who is a little more tuned into the kind of more horror, nightmare, supernatural side of things, with everything that Jade has seen, you'd think he would be one of the characters that wouldn't touch one of those totems. So yeah, not very smart. Not very smart. Kimono Monster with the Japanese porno. Maybe. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. What about that other girl? What about the girl that had the eye injury? I forgot her name. She may get killed. Her name Paula? I think her name might have been Paula. The girl that had the eye patch in season 2 after the glass kind of almost took her eye out. We see her pop up in some weird kind of places every once in a while. A lot of people kind of point to that character as being a little bit sus in terms of her popping up in weird places, kind of like Fanny Pack Granny does. But no, yeah, could Paula potentially get killed off? I think she could, but when I hear the showrunners say beloved characters, that makes me think it's going to be more main characters and not a secondary character. I do think Paula is probably a well-liked character by a portion of the fandom, but I wouldn't really consider her a beloved character, really, maybe. I don't, maybe she is. But when I hear the term beloved characters, that kind of just instantly makes me think that it's going to be a main character, like one of the main storyline characters that's going to get killed off, not a secondary one. But who knows? Paula, who knows? Maybe she'll get killed off. Clara. Is it Clara? There it is. Not Paula. Clara. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Yeah, Clara. Thank you. That is her name. Clara. Good old Clara. They shouldn't have done that. Yes, Doc, I'm right there with you, my friend. Should not have touched those things. What about the crows? Those are scarecrows. And that's an interesting connection as well. And that's what, some people have been wondering. Are these weird totems some kind of weird form of scarecrow? And if they are, what exactly are they scaring away? Are they just scaring away the crows? Or are they potentially warding something else off, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it seems like the general consensus is bad move. Bad move on Jade's part for sure. Unicorn 1, EMTs are super dead. I kind of agree. I do agree. I feel like both of these EMTs, and I know I said this, multiple times already, but I do feel like both of these EMTs might as well just have red shirt written right on their forehead. And of course, red shirt is a term. It's a Star Trek term where, in the old Star Trek series, any of the background characters that usually kind of went on missions and that were in the red shirts always ended up dying and getting killed off. They were always background characters, but they kind of always died. So that kind of term, red shirts, has been developed from there. And it's just a term that people kind of describe as characters that are definitely going to get killed off. Background characters that are not going to make it, kind of thing. So I very much think that both of these EMTs are red shirt territory. I do agree with you. I do agree with you. Yeah. Wild Marjoram does not want the hot EMT to go. I've seen this a few times. It does not want the hot EMT to get killed off. I don't know which one the hot one is, but hopefully Wild Marjoram gets her wish. Jade's off the chain right now, running wild. He is, isn't he? I mean, Jade is absolutely, and he really is just a complete, he's losing it. I mean, he really is. He's starting to lose it more and more. And I brought this up early on in the season, right when we were watching episode 1, actually right during our episode 1 watch party, right after the premiere aired. And I started to notice this trend during season 2. I mentioned it back then, but I definitely see this trend continuing to happen in season 3, where Jade, it's almost like his hair is a direct reflection of his mental state. And I always kind of bring up the Kingpin kind of reference there when it comes to, we got a guest. What is up, Lord Raven? Thank you for joining us, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Yeah, I mean, whenever I think of Jade and I think of his kind of declining mental state and how his hair kind of reflects that, it always made me think of the movie Kingpin. Now, anyone who's seen the movie Kingpin, Bill Murray's character starts to become, more and more unhinged when you get to the end of Kingpin and they're having their final bowling match between Bill Murray and Woody Harrelson. Great movie, by the way. Anybody who hasn't seen Kingpin, highly recommend checking it out. It's a freaking hilarious comedy. It's Bill Murray kind of at his best in some ways. But at the end of Kingpin, it all kind of leads to this one big bowling match between Bill Murray's character and, again, Woody Harrelson's character. And it's so funny. You start to see Bill Murray's hair just get crazier and crazier and crazier as that bowling match progresses. And it kind of reflects his mental state, kind of getting a little bit more and more unhinged as he's starting to lose this bowling match. And I always kind of brought that up for a kind of direct allegory for what I see happening to Jade. And again, I kind of started seeing it develop at the end of season 2, where his hair started to get crazier and crazier, and his mental state started to decline more and more. And, I brought it up this season that it seems like they're continuing that trend, where it's almost like Jade's declining mental state is going to be directly reflected in how crazy his hair gets. I wouldn't be surprised by the time we get to season 5 if he looks like straight up Chewbacca. But who knows? Who knows? Welcome, Raven.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just filling in until Snugsy is back. I imagine he's putting the kiddos to bed or something.
Yeah, he said he'll be back in a few. But yeah, no, awesome to have you here, man. Even if it's just for a few. Awesome to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
What about you? What about you in terms of, we were just asking the chat which characters they think are definitely safe. We got a lot of interesting answers, and what characters they think are definitely going to get killed off. What about you? Do you have any character that you think will definitely not get killed off in season 3? And do you have a character that you are worried the most about getting killed off in season 3? Both ends of the spectrum. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I think to be killed, I think Sarah is going to get it. I think this is just my prediction because it looks like Victor is confiding in her or some kind of thing. And I'm big on how they sequester, like they'll sequester very like important information to within a few characters. That's partly why they never communicate with each other just in general. They're keeping this critical information, and that's why people get so frustrated, because they're keeping this information to themselves. Exactly. But the thing is, when they die, they take it with them. So Victor obviously he doesn't have the skills to communicate to other people, or maybe not the willingness. And I think Sarah's going to find out some critical piece of info. She is kind of on her redemption arc a little bit, mainly just because people feel sorry for her. Maybe like the fans feel sorry for her because she is such a pariah for what she did. Maybe she'll do something. She already saved Julie and Ethan once this season. So I think she'll get. I think she's going to get it at some point this season. I think Tabby's got to be safe. Just think of the ones that have longer term importance to the overall story. Jade obviously going to be safe. Boyd obviously going to be safe. I'm trying to think who else. Oh yeah, I put Clara. I did put Clara as a dead just because I thought maybe she's. I didn't consider her beloved. She's more beloved than Nikki, who is also dead. But
looks like it.
Yeah, Clara. I don't know if she's beloved, but she's been around a lot for a non-major character. She's got more speaking roles than probably even Dale. I mean, more per episode speaking engagements. She had her bicycle stolen by Jade very, very early on. She got the broken glass in her eye. She popped up a few times this season. She popped up more times this season than Bacta has, and I consider Bacta more of a character than Clara. And Clara was putting the flowers in the diner already. She was the one who challenged Nikki when Nikki was pounding on the door with Fatima. So I think she's at least registering as a good guy. I don't know if she's beloved because of that, but she's at least, so she's a positive character, or what we would identify as a good guy character, somebody taking the side of the people that we like. And I think that puts the crosshairs squarely on her.
Oof, okay.
and they can lose her and not really miss too much. She is
interesting.
Just a step above a red shirt, essentially.
Yeah, maybe. No, I like your Sarah idea though, in terms of like I think you brought up a really good point, and I think this is why Victor has been so kind of hesitant to reveal too much, because he's afraid it's going to lead to people getting killed. And now here we have Victor getting ready to tell Sarah hopefully some kind of profound story that has some kind of answer to it. could Victor, the very act of Victor telling this story to Sarah, could that put her in danger? So I think that's a good idea. I think you might be onto something there. Maybe we do got to worry a little bit about Sarah, depending on how much Victor does fill her in on, maybe. So yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I accidentally looked at the suitcase photo before I knew what I was looking at. I don't remember anything, but I do remember that what I was predicting in there, I didn't really see it jump out to me unless it's like buried up
Yeah,
under some other stuff. So I'm like, I could be
yeah.
completely wrong. I was full of myself too because I thought I got like tacit confirmation by somebody who had seen the episode when they wouldn't tell
Yeah.
me yes, that's or they wouldn't say yes or no. I was like, ooh, so I must be right. No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
But
I I accidentally saw it too. I was just like a quick glimpse, and I don't remember much of the contents from the inside. I know there's only like 2 items that are kind of seared into my memory because I looked at it super fast and I looked right away. But there
mhm.
are 2 items that I did distinctly see that I weren't really expecting to be in there. So it's going to be interesting to see what else is inside that thing and what kind of role it's going to play.
Right, right, right. And a little part of me was in denial because I was like, well, there's no way they would spoil something. I just assume because I don't always watch all of the trailers either. So I mean, there's
Yeah.
certain elements of certain trailers that people have talked about multiple times, and I just don't even remember seeing that part. So I thought, well, it's not beyond possibility that I just didn't catch a certain trailer or something. But now this seems like
Mhm.
a straight up spoiler. Um, Again,
Maybe. Maybe.
how significant of it is or how much of a spoiler it is,
Not huge, but still,
it's
yeah.
just like, yeah, if you really
Yeah.
wanna go into it, um, and that's why I appreciate it when you go through the comment section and clean out, spoilers and stuff. Like you say,
I
it kinda
tried.
ruins it for you, but it definitely
That's all right
benefits other
though.
people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said, if I have to go into my comment section and delete a spoiler or 2, I mean, I don't mind seeing it so the rest of the fandom doesn't see it. Kind of, not the rest of the fandom, but at least the few people that do hop into my comment section and watch our videos. So if I can see a blatant spoiler, I will try and delete it before everybody else sees it. And we actually had that problem today. Somebody came into our comment section and dropped just like massive spoilers, and then they dropped it like it was some kind of flex.
oh,
And it's just that, I mean, I don't know. That stuff just does not come off cool. I mean, like, I know some people don't mind spoilers, but when you have someone coming into the comment section just dropping blatant spoilers, I mean, that's not going to win you a whole lot of points. A lot of people, most of the fandom wants to go into these episodes clean. They don't want these big spoilers ahead of time. So every once in a while, I do try to go into my comment section, and if I see anybody like overtly trying to drop blatant spoilers, and this person was blatantly trying to spoil things, and they were being a really big asshole about it too. So I don't delete comments often. I try to let everybody have their say, whatever your opinion is. If it doesn't matter, as long as you guys are keeping it respectful. I want everybody to have their say. I very rarely will delete a comment in the comment section. The only time I'll ever do it is if it's something like that, like I saw today, someone in there blatantly dropping a big spoiler and being
mhm.
an asshole while they're doing it too. So that's kind of the only time I'll ever delete a comment. But I want everybody to have their say. Again, you'll never see me just kind of out there deleting comments if it's a comment that I just don't like or something like that. You guys are more than welcome to agree or disagree with anything we say. That's what's fun about a free fandom. Everybody should have a voice. Everybody should have a chance to say what they feel, whether it's your theories, your thoughts, where you think the show is going. All of that is welcome here. We never silence opinions. But again, every once in a while, you'll have an asshole or a troll kind of come into the comment section. And that's really the only time I'll ever delete a comment. If it is like a massive spoiler or someone just being an asshole. But we don't
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
whole lot of that in From. And that's one thing I've always very much praised and applauded the From fandom as a whole on, is we don't really have a whole lot of just outright asshole trolls like that. Most of the fandom seems to be pretty cool and pretty respectful to the idea that most people don't want big spoilers. So again, I can't applaud the wider overall from fandom enough for being very respectful in that category. You guys have been so awesome. So I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, I think and
Very much
probably a lot of it
appreciate it.
has to do with the size of it too. Because if it got to, House of the Dragon size, Game of Thrones size, then I'm sure more of that would come, but I was just surprised
Yeah.
that the actual MGM Plus app would or, the Twitter page would put that out. I was like, what the heck? And there's enough to talk about, about episode 4 coming up. We already know the nighttime scene, the ambulance scene. That's pretty much established. That's not much of a spoiler. And there's plenty of conjecture there to, who's going to make it. I know some people are rooting for, I guess they consider one of the EMTs to be the hot EMT. I think both of them are gone. Yeah. That's my guess. We just don't need more additional people. I think oh, go ahead, please.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think we've got too many people as it is, even with the people that are, even with the parity and numbers thing where, 25 die, 25 arrive. I think we still have too many people. And that's really an issue is splitting the screen time among all these different people. And it's going to make it more challenging to develop somebody like a Bacta, even like somebody like Randall, a character like that, these minor characters, trying to flesh them out. And there's a difference between maybe giving them a little backstory, flesh them out. And that's what they did with her in her little scene with Jade, talking about her backstory, kind of fleshed her out a little bit. But do you really want to develop this character as an ongoing thing? That's a question. Is she long for this world? Not, but then again, she just got upgraded to diner runner, so
the new Tian Chen,
yeah.
And I feel like the way they set up the whole nursery rhyme connection with her, I feel like at the very least they need to kind of play that storyline out before a character like that gets killed off. You see these kind of pretty specific storylines get set up, and usually, every once in a while you'll see a character get killed off before their storyline has a chance to really play out, like what they did beautifully with Father Cautry in season 1. But usually when you see these kind of specific storylines, that kind of tells me that the writers have a plan for this character, maybe down the road, but they do have a plan for her. So I do think Bacta will get some more screen time. Maybe not even this season. Maybe her storyline will come into prominence maybe in season 4 or maybe towards the end of the season. But I do have a feeling they have some kind of plan in store for Bacta, just given the whole nursery rhyme connection and her grandmother that she had between this place and her grandmother kind of thing. But yeah, I guess we shall see. But Tyler B is asking, do we have confirmation for season 4? No, we do not yet, unfortunately. They haven't given any official confirmation that season 4 has been ordered. But again, I imagine we probably will. Maybe that'll be something that they'll do at the end of the season. Maybe they're waiting to see exactly how this season gets received and how their numbers do. But based on everything we're seeing and the numbers we're kind of looking at, it's looking like season 3 is bringing in the biggest amount of viewers than season 1 or 2 did, maybe even combined. It definitely seems like this show is growing. The fandom is getting bigger. And I think that is an indication of some of them taking like a bigger step in terms of broadening their marketing, which I applaud them for finally hitting up New York and San Diego Comic-Con, which are the 2 biggest Comic-Cons in the country. So that's definitely going to bring on some more eyes. I imagine a lot of people got introduced to From at San Diego Comic-Con this year that probably never would have had a chance to see it otherwise. And I imagine some other people will probably get introduced to it when New York Comic-Con comes around, because From will be at that one as well. So it definitely seems like the fandom is starting to grow. The fan base is widening. They're starting to reach other parts of the globe, and other parts of the globe are finally getting access to the show, which is something, I know Ravener and Snug and I and all this, we saw this a lot during season 2, where if you were in a different part of the country, you just didn't have access to MGM Plus, or you didn't have access to any streaming service that was playing From. So unfortunately, there are still some places out there in the world that just don't have access to the show yet. But we are starting to see that more of these places are starting to get access now. So I think that's only going to continue to help the fan base grow. Once more people actually see this show and see the quality of storytelling, the quality of the characters, the quality of the world that it's set in, people are gonna get hooked onto this show. How can you not? It's just so good on so many levels.
Oh yeah. I remember in the earlier seasons, I think we had someone in the chat from Romania, and they're the ones that keyed us into the fact that the name of the show was Origins. It was like the Romanian word or some kind of
Origins,
I think they were in They were in the
I think it
Balkans,
was,
I
was
think.
it Romania or France or something like that? The
Yeah,
origins,
but the word was, it was the native word for origins, which was interesting. Jen said that she watches mainly French television, and From wasn't even on, so she didn't even know what we were talking about, even when she was watching the show. Which is another strange thing. So do you think anybody is on deck for the Khatri treatment, where like one of these minor characters starts getting dreams, ambitions, aspirations, and starts expressing them, has plans for the future, just to get rubbed? You think they'll go to the well again on that tactic?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, I think probably. I maybe,
Think
if
so?
not this season, at some point, yes. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see some kind of characters storyline, kind of get built up to the point where we think where it's heading there, and then boom, they kind of just pull the rug out from under us and they kill the character off, like you said with Khatri. Yeah, I could see that maybe happening with a character. I mean, again, I really don't want that to happen with Henry. But part of me I'm really worried about Henry. I feel like, they're introduced this new character, Henry, this season, which we know, of course, is Victor's father. Now we know that Tabitha and Henry have been sucked back into Fromville. So a lot of people are hoping for this kind of long-awaited reunion between father and son, and what kind of revelations that will bring. I mean, can you just imagine the conversations that Henry and Victor could potentially have, talking about Miranda and all the visions that Miranda had, and just the wealth of information that Henry himself might have on this place, and not even knowing about it, just because he's been listening to Miranda for so many years.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I
Okay.
mean, as much as I want to see Henry's storyline go forward, I mean, if they kill him off early, that would be kind of one of those similar Khatri situations where you think this character is going to have some kind of important part to play, and they just kind of snatch him away from us. I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, and he's been nothing but a bottomless stream of exposition, nonstop. Every question that he gets asked, he has a long amount of like, oh yeah, I remember, and like key information leading them right to where they need to go, that kind of stuff. So I have a feeling when they get to the bottom of his bottomless well, okay, yeah, Brenda Luisa saying it's Origin. I saw Will
Yeah.
Smalls and somebody else. I want to give credit where credit is due, in the chat, saying that Will Smalls says in Bulgaria or Germany it's from his origins, and somebody else said in most places. Oh, Tim R says origins is the name in most European markets. Tim and Will, is it the native word? So like in France, would it be the French word for origins? So it's definitely not just English from or English origins. It's a native word. It's the native language of that country.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if it's actually like a native translation, or if that's just what they're calling the show in some of the European markets.
So in Germany, the native language would be Turkish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's specifically native-based translation. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just one of those things where in some of the European markets they just call it, they refer to it as origins instead of from, kind of thing.
Okay, and Talerzo says yes, so I think we're right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Awesome. But no, that was very interesting when we first learned that. I believe we first kind of came across that during season 2, and because at least that was the first time I came across it, was during season 2, when some people were bringing that up in the chat, that it's called origins in some parts of the world. Which, again, is that some kind of hint as to what from might really mean? Because that's been a big question we've all been wondering for a very long time. What exactly is quote unquote from referring to? Is it where you're from, or is it the origin of something? Is that what from is referring to? Like actually where something is from? It's hard to tell. It's very ambiguous. But is origin some kind of hint as to what this context of from really means? I guess.
Right. And everybody's from somewhere separate, even though they're from all over across the country. They all end up in the same place, and it's one of those, like, it's not where you're from, it's where you're at kind of thing. And they have to deal with the situation they're in, regardless of the different, say, origins. Fatima's origin wildly different than Boyd's origin, wildly different than the Matthews family's origin. So
yeah, True, very true, and I mean, and that's what we're seeing. And I feel like we even get a little bit more of a hint to some of the theories that a lot of us have had in the fandom. And like you said, the Henry character has kind of been a lot of exposition, and it's been giving us some interesting information, some interesting tidbits at times, and where we learn at least a little bit more, kind of confirmation on things that a lot of us kind of already suspected, in terms of Fromville being a place where you can kind of get sucked into it from anywhere on the map. It's a place that kind of exists everywhere and nowhere at the same time, kind of thing. And that's a lot of, kind of the things that we have been pointing to, that a lot of the people in the chat have been pointing to for a while now, because we see very early on in season 1, all of the thumbtacks on the map completely spread out, showing that people were driving in completely different parts of the country, yet they all ended up here, indicating that there are multiple different entrances to this place. And if there are multiple different entrances, could there potentially be multiple different exits? And another thing we see with the trees in particular, which is something we picked up on super early on, that just about everybody that gets stuck here sees a completely different down tree in the middle of the road. It's not like it's just one set designated tree that everybody sees and they're stuck here in Fromville. Every tree is different, and every road that the tree is on is completely different from the previous. This tree is way different from the Matthews family tree that they originally saw in season 1, and that tree was completely different from the tree that the Boyd and his family saw. So again, it does seem like we're getting kind of light confirmation that there are just multiple different entrances to this place, and you can kind of get pulled in from anywhere, really.
Yeah. And that kind of explains why everybody has winter clothing too, because I think we talked about it in the past. Grand Rapids, Michigan in July is going to be a little bit different weather-wise than Grand Rapids, Michigan in January. And we know there's like a 6 months difference between Marielle and Christy. So probably similar things, similar climates. So somebody must have been driving in their winter clothing at some point.
That makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Yeah. Again, different parts of the country, people getting pulled in here from at different parts of the year too. So yeah, I imagine some people are going to get pulled in during winter. Some people are going to get pulled in during summer, kind of thing. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. We got some member chats. Thank you guys so much for the member chats. We got Lieutenant Hughes, who has been a member for 21 months. Wow, almost 2 years. LT has been a member for. My pal, thank you so much for all the support, my friend. Always good to see you in the chat. Victor and Henry will make it to season 4 is my hope. Christie's fiance might not make it past season 3. Jade will die near the series conclusion. Hail to all. Yes. I mean, again, I really hope Jade makes it to the end. I mean, if they do kill Jade off right at the very end, I could potentially maybe seeing that. But I think Jade's going to be around for a while. Victor and Henry will make it. Both of them will make it to season 4. That's interesting. I hope that happens. Again, I'm a little worried about Henry. I really hope he makes it. Christie's fiance, though, will not make it past season 3. Okay, so LT thinks Christie's fiance, Marielle, is going to get off this season. And I suppose that's possible.
Yeah, 21 months. Number one, that's awesome. 21 months. Thanks, LT. Yeah, you've been here a long time through all different shows too. All the shows that we've covered. But yeah, Victor, I see. That's one of the few things that I don't want to say few things. One of the things I'm most anticipating is the meeting of Victor and Henry. How that dynamic is going to go after 40 something years, and Henry's going to see this guy who is essentially a stranger. It's a grown man, a 50-year-old dude that's essentially a stranger to him, who they are going to be essentially strangers. So how much bonding, how much family ties, how strong is that blood tie? Because if it's a complete stranger for the last 40 years who's grown up in this wildly strange environment with apparently, in Victor's case, minimal social development, it is absolutely not going to be what Henry would have anticipated for his son. You have dreams and aspirations for your children to do better than you are, than you've done, and all this stuff. And he's going to find Victor in this suspended animation state almost. So that'll be a great thing. I just hope that they don't spill everything that Henry has, which makes him expendable. If he gives up all the information, or they get all the mileage out of Henry that they need to get narratively, then he may not belong to the world, and he's a 70-year-old dude. How he's not like he's going to be packing in, twigs and berries and cabbages.
Yeah, he's not going to be going on the excursions to go hunt down more food out in the woods. Yeah. No, I mean, like, I guess that's an interesting point to see, like, how much, if Henry does make it and he does wake up and he does, survive till morning and he does have a chance to reunite with Victor, how much are they going to reveal right at once? And given that this is From, I get the feeling they're not going to just reveal everything right at once. I mean, this show has been very cagey with releasing too much stuff at once. So I could definitely see him and Victor having some interesting conversations that give us some tidbits. But in terms of releasing everything at once, I hope that's not the case. But if it does, like you mentioned, that could potentially paint him even more expendable if, he's kind of already exhausted his plot point, his plot purpose, really, at that point.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess we'll see.
You think Christy's foot injury is going to, I mean, we've talked about complications, infection, yada, yada. That might take Christy off the table. It might not be Marielle who's expendable. It might be Christy who's unexpectedly, and she's beloved. And
very
then
beloved. Yep.
And I wonder if they would really have to do some tap dancing to get Marielle to be treated with the same amount of respect, I guess, as Christy.
Christy was.
Yeah. But skills wise, she could be like a somewhat of a replacement as far as medical care. But
maybe, we'll see. It's better than having nothing, I suppose. At least having a pediatric nurse is better than having no medical expertise in town. So I mean, even though it's a little bit of a downgrade because Christy seems to be a little more knowledgeable, it's still something. It's better than nothing, I suppose.
Yeah. And I still thought the foot injury was going to be it was just going to tether Christy to the town, keep her from going on the overland excursions again, and just make her a townsperson. But yeah, I'll let you get on to the next thing. Actually, I'll go ahead and dip Snugs back. Just kept the seat warm for you, brother.
Anytime, man. You're always welcome on here. You pop on anytime you want, my friend. The chat loves hearing from you.
Right on, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, chat. Love you. We'll see you tomorrow and in Tuesday and in the future. So later, guys. Bye.
Thank you, my friend. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see what exactly is going to go on with the whole situation. Again, I really hope Henry makes it, but part of me is very worried about him. But we got Just Me for $4.99. Thank you so much, Just Me, for the support. Very much appreciate you. Loving this live. Martin said, these monsters are just the tip of the spear. What type of monster do you think is coming next? Yes, great question. And this is something I have we've often wondered this, haven't we, Snug? Wondering what other kind of things are out there in the forest. As you mentioned, Martin kind of very ominously states that the monsters are just the quote-unquote tip of the spear. And not only that, we also get that one line from Sarah at the end of season 1 as well, when she is seemingly getting some kind of message from what appears to be maybe even Abby, Boyd's dead wife, when Sarah learns about the fish and loaves, and Sarah learns when Abby apparently says to Boyd that I was wrong. There's worse things out here than the monsters. So yeah, we've all been wondering, what exactly does that entail? What is worse than the monsters mean? Now, does that mean that we're going to see more of these kind of entity-like things that we saw in season 2? Like season 2, very much towards the end, moved a little bit away from the monsters, and the big threat was the weird cicada entity thing that was plaguing the town. People couldn't fall asleep. Their dreams were attacking them. It very much became a kind of Nightmare on Elm Street kind of threat.
Right.
Whereas the monsters are much more of a physical, corporeal being that they have to worry about. So every time I think about, things that are out there in the forest that are worse than the monsters, I always wonder, does that mean that we're going to see some more of these other entity-like things that don't really have physical forms? Or are we actually going to see like other kind of monsters out there that do have a corporeal form to them? I really hope we do. Again, I want to see some other monsters. I like what the show is doing with some of these weird entities that they're playing with, whether it's the cicada entity or some of these other potential entities that might be popping up. I do like that aspect of the show, but part of me wants to see some other physical monsters that do actually have a physical form, some other kind of weird monster out there that we haven't seen before. I really hope we see that at some point. But what about you,
Yeah,
Snug? Do you think we'll see like some other kind of real monster or just more entities?
I think we will. The stones that they showed. So there's still the red Squidward thing from the caves that we
Ooh,
haven't kind of seen
yep,
yet, and the
yep,
stones that they showed when Jade found the guy with the railroad spike through his head. They only show
yep.
three, but I'm pretty sure there's four, and they're painted
Okay.
red. And so I think that's another entity that is associated with those. I think we have one that's associated with the seven in the cave, and I'm pretty sure there are
Mm.
four red ones. So that would give us our 4 and 7. And so I think that that's what we're gonna find. I'm hoping. I'm
Ooh,
hoping that's what it is.
okay. Okay, no, I like that. I like that. It's interesting. And yeah, I mean, we're seeing these 4s and 7s all over the freaking show for a very
Hmm.
long time now. A lot of people have been noticing all these 4s and 7s, and part of me thinks that that is a wink and a nod to Stephen King. Considering Stephen King was born in '47, and he famously has the big 4 and the big 7 on his famous mansion on his gate. But could there be a deeper meaning to that? Could the 4s and 7s be a little bit more than just a wink and a nod to Stephen King? Maybe they're going to have some kind of actual plot point, and I think that very well could be possible. I mean, we're seeing a lot of these 4s and 7s in the background.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. I like it. But yeah, thank you so much for the 4.99. Very much appreciate you, and I owe you a whoa.
Yeah. We got CeeLo back with a member chat.
We do. We got CeeLo back in the
Wow. Yeah.
chat. Remember, for 17 months. Wow, 17 freaking months. That is a long time. That is a lot of support. Thank you so much, CeeLo. So glad to have you back in the chat as well. Welcome, welcome, my friend. It's been a hot minute, guys. Talismans, talismans. Yes, get those talismans
Nice.
up in the chat. We love seeing the talismans. And thank you so much, CeeLo, for the support, my friend. And great to have you back. Always
Oh
great
yeah.
to have a welcome, awesome, familiar face in the chat. Hell yes. And we got Mr. M16 for $9.99. Love that name, by the way. Mr. M16. Love it. Thank you so much for the $9.99. Very much appreciate you. How would you guys feel about it all being a simulation? Been seeing people say the show already told us what this place was in the first season with Jim over and over. It's a test/simulation. And again, we've kind of gone back and forth. I feel like the fandom has different opinions on this. I can only give mine, and I'm sure Snug will give his as well. And I'd
Hmm.
love to hear everybody else's in the
Yeah.
chat what you guys think. Me personally, I would be a little disappointed if it was a simulation. Just
Yeah.
personally, I feel like we're seeing a lot of very interesting things on this show that are starting to at least point a little bit more to a kind of supernatural origin. And yes, there have been some hints that this thing could be some kind of big test. Jim thinks that early on. We also get some interesting theories from Dale early on in season 1, where
Hmm.
he kind of says that this thing is one kind of pocket dimension. And I almost feel like Dale's theory fits more than any of the other theories, just based on the
Yeah.
information that we do know about Fromville, how it does seem to be like it is a physical place that people can access, and we're seeing people go from the real world to here. So that is leading me to believe more and more that it's not a simulation, that I do think it is an actual real place. And who knows, maybe even Dale was more right than we originally thought. Maybe it is some kind of weird little pocket universe, little pocket space that can only be accessed under certain circumstances, but yet is kind of existing everywhere and nowhere at the same time. That's kind of how I view Fromville, based on just some of the evidence we've seen on the show so far. And that would
Mhm.
explain a little bit more of some of the things that we've seen in terms of the thumbtacks, for instance, and how we see all these thumbtacks just spread completely over the map. And each thumbtack indicates where somebody was driving in the country when they found themselves stuck here in Fromville, indicating that, again, there are multiple different entrances to this place, and people can kind of get pulled in from anywhere on the map.
Mhm.
All of that stuff is just me personally leading me to believe that this is not a simulation. It's a real place. And I think, again, part of me wouldn't be too surprised if Dale's theory is a little closer to being accurate than we originally thought. It's funny, that the show chose to give this whole little pocket dimension theory. They chose to give that line to Dale. And you see the character like Dale, a lot of people kind of just dismiss everything the guy says, just given the nature of that character. He's kind of the town drunk without being the drunk character in a sense. But I feel like that's such a good mechanism to kind of hide a profound answer like that. You want something, the fandom to not pay close attention to something, then have that piece of information come from somebody who isn't reliable, like Dale. So again, part of me wouldn't be too surprised if this thing is a little closer to some kind of little pocket realm, little pocket dimension. But in terms of the simulation theory, I would be a little disappointed if it was a simulation, just because I feel like it would cheapen some of the really nice magical aspects of the show that are being set up. I mean, we're seeing a lot of these weird occurrences that certainly seem to be pointing towards the supernatural more and more as the season progresses. And if all of a sudden they kind of can explain all of that away, that it's just a simple simulation and that this is really all just a computer program that's doing all these things, I feel like that would cheapen some of the mystery. I mean, just for me personally, but that's my take on it. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat and from you, Snug, as well. What do you think? If we find out this thing is a simulation, would you be disappointed? The only way I wouldn't be disappointed is if it was some kind of weird new version of a simulation that we've never seen before, that was like completely unique, something completely new. That could be maybe interesting, but anything short than that, I'm going to be disappointed if it's a simulation. But what about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, Jim's never right, so I would take Dale's advice over Jim's any day. I'm not Team Jim.
Dale at least
But
seems like he's got more real world experience than Jim.
yeah,
So
yeah, I do like the pocket dimension theory, but this last episode, it seemed like that there's a possibility that it could be a simulation or some type of game because the bracelet pops up. The bracelet is what is the giveaway for me, or the possible giveaway for me, because
super trippy. Yeah.
there's no way, because she says that she made it and it was original. So if she made it, how is it popping up in these different places? So that's kind of what maybe it's a simulation. I wouldn't be satisfied with that. I don't like it. But it also, the other thing is, it seems like she was kind of calling into question, and she winds up or I don't think she actually will go to Fromville. I think she goes on the other side of the tree and she winds up somewhere else. But it kind of resets it to where she got to level 2 of the simulation, but gets kicked back because she doesn't play along. So that's kind of what I'm that maybe it is a simulation. I don't like that. I don't like that theory, but it's possible that's where we're going. Yeah. And the other thing is, like, where is I'm also want to know how many people rented from this rendezvous place, because that keeps popping up. I don't think we've gotten a lot of information on that, but I wonder if that's, the connection with the real world. I thought it was a hospital, but it might be this moving company, this rental company that keeps popping up.
We keep seeing that.
Yeah.
This freaking same specific moving company. We keep seeing it in the background of a bunch of different scenes. Is that a wink and a nod to like a local moving company that's in the area, or is that something a little bit more? Maybe it could be something a little bit more. It's very interesting how they keep showing it. For instance, I know a lot of people have noticed it too. So I mean, if it is a simulation, if it's some new kind of version of a simulation, some completely new and fresh and original take on the simulation, that could be pretty interesting and pretty cool. But if it's revealed at some point that it's just kind of your average run-of-the-mill simulation, and all of this really mystical and intriguing magical aspects of the show, if that can all just be explained away by being just a simple computer program, that would cheapen some of the mystery, just for me personally. But again, if it's something new, I could totally be down for it if it's a new version of something we haven't seen before. But thank you so much for the $9.99, Mr. M16. I very much appreciate you, and I owe you a whoa.
Oh yeah.
Awesome stuff. And of course, we got Glue Guns and Roses. Thank you so much, Glue Guns and Roses, for the $5. So awesome to see you in the chat, my friend. Hey, all, first time caller, long time viewer. Is there any difference between hoodoo and voodoo? I've seen people call the dolls hoodoo instead of voodoo. I know there's a little bit of a difference. I'm not very well versed on voodoo and hoodoo myself personally, so I'm certainly no expert on the field, but I do believe there is a slight difference between hoodoo and voodoo, and two kind of different versions of a religion kind of thing. Wild Marjoram says voodoo is a religion and hoodoo is a practice. Okay, maybe that's the difference there. Yeah, again, I don't want to speak on something I'm not too knowledgeable on. I don't want to, kind of disrespect anything, because I know one is at least a religion, or maybe both are viewed as religions kind of thing. But again, it's not something I'm very well versed on it, but I will definitely research a little bit more, and we can dive into it more on tomorrow's stream. But if there is anybody in the chat that is has a little bit more expertise on it, drop a comment in the chat and I will definitely bring it up and read it. Star says there is a difference. Awesome. Big Rolling Home says hoodoo is more focused on the natural environment, where voodoo is more focusing on connecting with the spirit world. Okay, interesting. Okay, I can see that maybe. Okay. Like, yeah, one's a little more spiritual, one's a little bit more nature oriented. Okay, cool. Very cool. I'm always down to learn some new things. I love and that's one thing I really love about this chat. You guys teach me something new every single time I go live, and I love learning new stuff like this. So yeah, I guess that's a little bit of the difference between hoodoo and voodoo. One's a little more natural environment, nature-esque based. One's a little more spirit world based. Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you very much. So are the dolls hoodoo? I think I need to research more. I'm still confused. Yeah, I'm gonna have to research more myself as well. Glue Guns and Roses, and I will, like, tonight after I'm done watching the episode, I will specifically do as much research into hoodoo and voodoo as I possibly can, and maybe tomorrow's watch party stream, after we're done watching the episode, maybe we can dive into it a little bit more and have a little bit of a discussion on it. Because again, I love learning about new stuff, and hoodoo and voodoo is always something that I've been just kind of tangentially aware of, but I've never really, dived deep into it to learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, no, I love learning new stuff. That's for sure. So yeah, I will definitely research it and see what else we can learn, and maybe again talk a little bit about it tomorrow on our next stream. You can practice voodoo and be Catholic, says Dreams and Aspirations. Oh, okay. So it's not like a specific religion that you have to be devoted to kind of thing. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Wild Marjoram was part of a hoodoo group. Awesome stuff. Very cool indeed. I think there will be magic, and it will be generic and non-specific as to not offend anyone. Oh, in terms of like the actual show, in terms of like whatever the magic might end up being. Okay, I could see that maybe. Yeah, I could definitely see that being the case. Again, I really hope it's heading a little bit more into the kind of magical, supernatural kind of realm, as opposed to the hard sci-fi realm. Yes, the show is technically designated as sci-fi horror, sci-fi and horror, and mystery. But genres get blended time and time again these days. So just because a show is specifically labeled as sci-fi doesn't necessarily mean that the answers to it are all going to be sci-fi answers. Again, we're seeing a lot of clear horror, themes, and again, a lot of clear themes that definitely seem to be pointing a little bit more to the supernatural. So I'm really hoping it has a supernatural origin.
That's what. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
I hope.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I thought you were firmly on the team aliens.
Supernatural aliens.
Well, I guess, and that's another thing. Could alien technically be construed as supernatural in some instances? And I think, one could maybe make that argument. Yeah. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. Loving the discussions tonight. And I look at the clock. We are just 1 hour and 15 minutes away, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour, 15 minutes away from episode 4 hitting our screens. Getting closer and closer now, Snug. We are cooking. Chat is cooking. Love it. I remember all the folks comparing stuff from the show to tarot cards, and now we're seeing tarot cards used. Very true.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
whole
yeah.
tarot theories were very prevalent early on and still very much are. I know Taryn has a very popular tarot theory that a lot of people have taken to, and now we're seeing actual tarot cards in the show. So yeah, what does that mean? And we also wondered, just based on episode 3, we see that readings start to happen between Fatima and Fanny Pat Granny. Yet, unfortunately, the crow, unceremoniously kind of interrupts them before they can have this reading.
Right.
So a lot of us have been left to wonder, are we actually going to get a little glimpse of that table, and will we actually really get to see what cards were really flipped here? Because it looks like Fanny Pat Granny flips at least 1, maybe 2 cards, at least one. But we don't actually get to see the card that she flipped. Like, there's no camera angle that actually shows what card that was flipped over. So I do wonder, and maybe at some point in episode 4 or episode 5, could we maybe see somebody over here maybe cleaning up the glass? I mean, we know that the window is broken. They're going to have to board that up if they're going to keep this place safe at night when the monsters come around. They do have to seal that opening. So could we potentially see some little scene in the background where we see somebody cleaning up the glass or boarding up the window, and we get a little glimpse at the table and we do actually see the card that was flipped over? I wouldn't be too surprised if we do. Again, I get the feeling we will see these cards at some point. It just seems like, it's something that they will show, but who knows?
Well, it's a good question whether it's a kind of a nod to that popular theory, or whether it actually had something to do in the show itself. And then the bird kind of coming through or raven are kind of coming through the window. It seems like that every time they kind of get on the track of maybe something that might tell them something, that there's a reaction to it. So I wonder if there's not some answer in those cards that the town's trying to.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I think you very well could be right, because like you said, we get to this point where anytime they get really close to kind of finding some kind of answer or something like that, something happens that throws them off track. Whether it's Boyd and Sarah finally getting close to the lighthouse, and all of a sudden, boom, it starts to get night and the boy in white sends them into the faraway tree. Whether it's this instance as well, right here, like you said. I would, and we see it at the end of season 1 as well, with Jim and Jade building the radio tower. As soon as they get the radio tower up, what happens? A big old freaking storm gets sent their way, and they have to pack it up. We have seen this clear kind of theme that anytime they get super close to finding some kind of answer, something derails that answer from happening. And I very well think that this could be the reason why the crow flew in. I think you guys might be right in that regard, because it's too coincidental to be coincidental in terms of the timing of this crow flying through the window. It's just the timing is way too sus for that to only be a coincidence. It's almost like maybe something didn't want Fatima to see any of these answers that these cards were going to reveal, maybe. And again, I definitely think something is doing this to Fatima in terms of the pregnancy, and even down to the rotten food near Colony House. We have seen that other places in Fromville, like where Jim and Kenny find that food, the ground isn't spoiled everywhere. We do hear Donna say that in season 2, that she seems to think that the ground near Colony House started to become poison. They can't really grow anything anymore. Food's starting to get rotten, yada, yada. But yet we see in other parts of Fromville, that's not the case. That seems to only be happening at Colony House. Not Colony House, but that seems to only be happening in the town, right where they grow their crops. And that led me to believe that this rotten food was specifically put here by Fromville or by some other kind of force, specifically for Fatima and specifically to nourish this baby. Again, it's just, I feel like the timing is way too sus for the rotten food to pop up right when it does, and then for Fatima to start craving rotten food just after it shows up. And the fact that she can't keep any other normal food down, it almost seems like this rotten food was specifically put here for Fatima. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. And that's another question. What the heck is going on with Fatima? And we will discuss that one in a minute right here. But first, we have Jency for $20. When is the watch party? Thank you so much for the support. And we do our watch parties every Sunday night right here on the channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tomorrow night, right here, we will be doing a live watch party of from season 3, episode 4. Now tonight, the episode drops right at around midnight. So if anyone is a member of MGM Plus, or if you watch it through any other means, whether it's Amazon or something else, anyone that will be watching the episode tonight at midnight, after we're done watching the episode, we always do a late night Discord hangout where we all hop into Discord and we talk about the latest episode, and we will definitely be doing that tonight too. So anybody who is planning on staying up and watching the episode when it drops right at midnight, which again is around an hour and 10 minutes from now, it is 10:50 on the East Coast right here. So that means in 1 hour and 10 minutes from now, episode 4 will be loaded up on MGM Plus. So I usually go live right up until then, right before 12, we usually end the stream. That way everybody can kind of go their separate ways. We can all go watch the episode right when it drops. And then as soon as we're done watching the episode, we all pile into the Discord and into the Discord voice chat, and we all discuss the episode amongst ourselves. And it's been so fun having these discussions every week. I very, very much look forward to Saturday nights. It's definitely my favorite night of the week because of not just but because of those late night discussions that we have in the Discord as well after we're done watching. So anyone who is planning on watching tonight at midnight, if you want to, come and hang out with us in the Discord after you're done watching, and we will be in there talking about all things episode 4. And thanks to my awesome mod Kiwi, there is the link to our Discord server. It is open and free for everybody to join. We love having newcomers in there, whether it's your first stream or whether it's your 100th stream. Everybody is welcome in the Discord. And I really am so proud of what the Discord has turned into. It really has become one of the biggest, and I mean the biggest hubs in the entire From fandom for From theory crafting. I cannot be more impressed with everything that everybody has done in that Discord to turn it into what it's turned into. It really has become such an awesome asset for the fandom, and that is thanks to each and every one of you. I had nothing to do with that. All I did was create the thing. You guys are the ones that made it what it is. So I can't thank each and every one of you enough for making that Discord one of the biggest hubs in terms of From fan theories. There's always some awesome fan theory crafting happening in the Discord 24/7, whether it's early in the morning, late at night. It seems like there is always something happening in that Discord. And again, that is thanks to each and every one of you. So I can't thank everybody enough for turning that thing into what it's turned into. But yes, tonight, when the episode drops, which again is just around an hour from now, we will end the stream right at around midnight. I will go and watch the episode, as I know many of you will also be watching the episode. And as soon as we're done watching, we will all be piling into the Discord, into the voice chat, and we will be talking about episode 4 tonight right after it drops. And we would love to have each and every one of you come and join us, or whoever wants to join us, of course. But yeah, everybody is welcome though. Everybody is welcome. Hell yes. 1 hour, guys. We are getting closer and closer now. 1 hour and 7 minutes. Episode 4 will be uploaded on MGM Plus. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. Let me dive into this chat. And what are you guys looking forward to for episode 4? I guess that will be our next question. I actually have the episode 4 trailer. I will play it real quick just in case anybody hasn't really seen it. There's really not much spoilery in the trailer, but if you don't want to see the episode 4 trailer, maybe just mute your screen for 30 seconds. It's just a quick 30-second trailer. It doesn't really show a whole lot. But I am going to play the trailer for episode 4, and then I want to hear from each and every one of you in the chat. What are some of the things that stick out to you from the episode 4 trailer, and what are some of the scenes that you guys are looking forward to the most in episode 4?
Where is everyone?
Oh
my God.
The night everyone died. That was the day that I met the boy in white.
You know the boy in white.
Run on the hill! Get back to the bus!
You looking for these?
Why can't they leave us alone?
Oof. Man, oh man, oh man,
Nice stuff
oh
that happened, yeah.
man. Yeah, we got some interesting stuff happening in this trailer, I must say. Now let me pull up these stills because I know I got some stills from the trailer. Of course, trailer starts off right where episode 3 kind of ended, and we see the ambulance is pulled up at the downed tree. And here in the background, we can see the one of our new cast members, the female officer named Acosta, getting out of the ambulance, followed by Tabitha also getting out of the ambulance. And we hear Acosta asking, where is everybody? You know, we got this down tree in the middle of the road. How come nobody's here clearing this kind of thing? And Tabitha instantly knows, okay, shit, we're fucking stuck again. We are stuck again. So yeah, no, a lot of you guys have had some interesting theories, including you, Snuggie, as well, in terms of maybe Tabitha might not return to the town inside the ambulance with everybody else. That's an interesting one. I think that very well could be possible. I mean, could she potentially attempt to go past the tree, maybe?
I think so. I mean, because she's questioning when she's in the car right before they have the accident. She's questioning, you know, if she got out of the car, would she be back or whatever. So I think that she's kind of getting the clue that maybe when it wants her to zig, she needs to zag, and I think she's going to go across that tree.
Ooh, okay, interesting. Interesting. And I mean, if that's the case, that's something we have been wondering for a very long time, isn't it? I mean, we've all wondered that what exactly is beyond this tree. Now, if you go beyond that tree, does that just bring you right into Fromville, just like the other end of the road will? Probably. That's kind of what I think. But I still want to see what exactly is going on, because so far, everybody that sees this tree, they see it and they instantly turn around and go in the other direction, and then boom, they're stuck in the town. But what would happen if someone were to go beyond that tree, cross the tree, and continue on that road? Would they still just end up right back in Fromville? Probably, but maybe not. Who knows?
We'll find
Who
out.
knows? Maybe there's something else. Yeah, maybe we'll find out.
It's way too early for her to be back. So
I know, man.
It doesn't make sense story-wise that she would be back so soon.
So early. And that's one thing we've been kind of discussing all season as well, in terms of like, when will Tabitha return to Fromville? Will it even be this season that she returns to Fromville? I'm very much of a similar mind as you are as well. I was really hoping that Tabitha was going to have, you know, again, a pretty long and grueling journey in the real world before she comes back to Fromville. I certainly was not expecting her to return this fast. I mean, yes, when the episode synopsis came out and everyone saw the episode title, it kind of started to lean a little bit more into, okay, she might be returning a little bit earlier than we anticipated. And again, part of me feels like in some small ways that's maybe a small missed opportunity. I feel like we had a really interesting chance to put her on a very weird and interesting path in the real world before she comes back to Fromville. So for her to kind of be back this fast, it was a little anticlimactic for me personally, but I am still looking forward to seeing, you know, what's going to happen now that she is back.
Well, the episode synopses kind of point to me that she's not going to be back, not for this one, but for the next episode. I don't know if we want to get into that, but it kind of points that she's not necessarily back. Plus, they don't show her in any of the scenes.
Yeah, they made sure to not show her in any of the episode 4 trailer scenes other than just this one, seeing her getting out of the ambulance. And in terms of the whole, I won't say it because I know not everybody has read the synopsis, but in terms of the whole surroundings aspect, if that's what you were referring to.
Yeah.
I mean, could that potentially be a hint that maybe she's not really back? Maybe. It very well could be. Who knows? But yeah, if she is truly back, and I do think she is back personally, like just me personally, I think she is back in Fromville, and I think she'll be back right in her regular time period, because that's been another theory that's been popping up, that some people think she is back in Fromville, but she's going to end up in some different time period of Fromville, which is an interesting theory. It's a pretty cool theory. But I don't necessarily think that is going to be the case. I do think she is going to be back in Fromville, and I think it'll probably just be her regular time period, and hopefully she'll reunite with her family. But who knows? I mean, this is From at the end of the freaking day. We have no idea what this show is going to throw at us. And that's what's fun about it. That is what is fun about it. Awesome stuff. I think she will run into the forest. Says, again, there's been some very interesting theories that apparently she just won't get back into the ambulance, that she will kind of go off on her own. And again, Snug has been bringing that up. A lot of you guys have been bringing that up. Maybe. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? What's the point of not showing her? They show everyone else. And again, it's always weird to kind of see what they choose to show, what they don't choose to show. You never really know what they're going to do and what, From an MGM is thinking. And that's why I kind of get a little puzzled sometimes when they choose to show some of these more spoilery aspects before the episode even drops. Like last week, the MGM social media accounts started dropping the picture of the bracelet before the episode was even out, which kind of spoiled it for a lot of us. I think that was something that not everybody, but at least a lot of the fandom were, a little not upset by that, but a lot of us were hoping to, see something like that in the actual episode. Like, can you imagine the kind of reveal that scene would have been while we were watching episode 3, not knowing that was coming? The fact that we knew that bracelet scene was coming before the episode even started, it kind of cheapened that reveal in a sense. It didn't have the impact that it would have had if we didn't know. And I feel like they did something similar this week with, with the picture they dropped on social media, with them kind of just showing us what was inside Victor's suitcase, which again was that was something the entire fandom has been discussing and talking about all week. We've had all of these great theories popping up from the chat, from the Discord. Everybody has had some very interesting theories as to what was in Victor's suitcase. And then we go again this week, 12 hours before the episode drops, they drop a picture and they show us everything that's in the suitcase. It's like, man, save these reveals for the episode, guys. These are I know they're not huge spoilers, but this is still stuff that people don't want to see until they watch the actual episode. And I even saw a bunch of people say that they just completely unfollowed the From account on Twitter. A lot of people just completely unfollowed it because they don't want to see these things. And you hate to see that happen, because there really is some good interaction that comes from the social media accounts, whether it's the actual MGM or the actual From ones, or whether it's the cast and crew. They are so interactive with the fans on social media, and I love that about this show. There's not many shows out there that you'll see that the cast and crew are this engaged with the fan base, and I love and respect that about them. But at the same time, I do wish they wouldn't show some of these things before the episode drops. Some of these things are a little too spoilery to show ahead of time, like the bracelet and, again, like the contents of the suitcase. But that's just my personal opinion. I know not everybody cares about spoilers. Some people actually like spoilers, and that's totally fine. But I feel like for the people who don't like spoilers, it would be nice if they kind of respected that and not showed these things ahead of time. But again, it's their show. They can run it however way they want. But we can also give our opinion, I guess. But yeah, 1 hour left, guys. 1 hour left, less than 1 hour now until the next episode drops. 1 hour left. But again, what do you guys think? What are some of the scenes that you guys are looking forward to in episode 4? What some of the storylines do you want to see play out the most? For me, I obviously want to see what's going to happen with this ambulance. Who's going to live? Who's going to die? Will Henry get the reunion, kind of thing? But probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most is whatever is going to be happening between Victor and Sarah. I cannot wait to see what kind of story he is going to be telling Sarah, and if it potentially leads to some kind of revelation on the show between that and whatever is going to happen in Cannibal Village. Again, Jade knocking over that freaking totem was not a good decision, in my opinion, and I'm a little bit worried there might be some consequences to that, maybe. But those are the two scenes I am very much looking forward to seeing. But what about you, Snug? Are there any in particular storylines that you're looking forward to seeing? Are you looking forward to meeting the new cop Acosta? We have a new cast member joining the show this week, which is awesome.
Yeah. Just before we get to that, Alicia
Oh, wow.
Shuby is a new member. Welcome. Hope I said that
Wow,
right.
thank you. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. You are most welcome here. And of course, all members have access to all of the custom Fromville emojis that we have available. And of course, we have some new ones that we just recently added today, including the heavy requested Dale emoji, which is up there to use at your pleasure. So thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Welcome to the Fromily. You are most welcome
Oh
here.
yeah.
And I owe you a whoa. Whoa, indeed. Oh, and it looks like we got Dana Marie coming in with another super chat. Thank you so much, Dana, for $2 1 hour, people. Yes.
Cool.
We are less than 1 hour, actually around 55 minutes away now, guys. Less than 1 hour away from season 3, episode 4, hitting our screens. And again, after episode 3 was not a slow episode, but it definitely seemed like episode 3 was a little bit more of an episode that was setting some things up to happen in
Yeah.
this episode and later on in the season. So I'm very much thinking that this episode, we're going to get some very nice payoff to some of that setup we saw in episode 3, whether it's everything that's happening in the ambulance, the colony house stuff, the Victor stuff, the Cannibal Village stuff, the totems getting knocked over. They really set up some interesting foreshadowings for some really cool scenes to happen in episode 4. And I cannot freaking wait to see how this episode plays out. It looks like episode 4 is going to be an intense one. Just, again, based on everything we're seeing, we know it's going to be a nighttime episode, which is something I know a lot of fans really enjoy, the nighttime episodes. Obviously, we get some more monster action on the nighttime episodes. They're a little bit more exciting sometimes. So I can't wait. It looks like we're going to have some very heavy monster action in this episode based on the trailers. But we're going to have this ambulance arriving in the dead of night, which is something we haven't seen on the show yet before, which is pretty interesting. We've heard tales about people arriving at night. Like very early on in season 1, Donna is telling Tabitha the story of how she first got stuck in Fromville. And apparently her and her sister, they arrived in town in the dead of night when the monsters were already out. Whereas up until now, when we see the Matthews family arrive, when we see Jade arrive, and when we see the flashback to Boyd and his family arrive, they all arrived during the day before the monsters were coming out. In Boyd's case, he arrived just in the nick of time, just as the sun was getting ready to set and just as the monsters were getting ready to emerge. But up until this point, we haven't really seen a full-on nighttime arrival in Fromville. Even when the bus showed up in the middle of the day as well. So every new arrival has been kind of daytime oriented, but now we are going to see a proper nighttime arrival where by the time the ambulance gets into the actual town, it is going to be nightfall. And that is going to bring a whole slew of different dangers. And I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. How is this ambulance arrival going to play out? Who's going to live? Who's going to die? I cannot wait to see it. And we are getting closer and closer now, guys. Closer and closer now. But it looks like we also have some more gifted memberships. Wow.
From Dana Marie.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dana Marie, for the gifted membership. Wow, thank you so much. And it looks like Faith and Repentance is the recipient of the membership. And of course, we got Kiwi Skirt gifting 5 memberships. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 memberships gifted from the awesome Kiwi Skirt. Thank you so much, Kiwi. Looks like Kate in Orlando is a member. Awesome stuff. Eldridge Disco is now a member. I Love the Etsy is now a member. Lady Stoneheart Kimmy G is now a member. And Lady Fairchild is also now a member. Welcome one, welcome all. So glad to have each and every one of you here. And thank you guys so much, Dana and Kiwi and everybody else. Thank all of you for donating memberships tonight. You guys have been so freaking generous. And I owe out some woes. I owe some woes. I'll give
Nice.
a little glitter bomb for good measure. I know Dana loves the glitter bomb. A little glitter bomb for good measure. Thank you guys. I mean, again, the support has been overwhelming. I can't thank each and every one of you enough. You guys are so freaking awesome. You go above and beyond supporting the channel, and it really, really does mean the world to me. And it's something I certainly do not forget. I do not forget it. But thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And here we are, 50 minutes away now from episode 4 hitting our screen. So let's dive into this trailer a little bit more. Of course, we see the ambulance arriving, and it's still light time out here, but based on some of the other stills, it looks like it will be nighttime by the time they actually arrive and stay in the actual town, which we see a little bit later on in the trailer as well. But we also see this. It looks like we're going to get an interesting flashback scene to the 1978 massacre when Victor was a child, when the entire town got slaughtered except for Victor. And of course, Victor also.
I wonder if that's part of what he tells Sarah. If that's what he's going to tell Sarah, and that's part of the flashback. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's telling. Yeah, it looks like he's telling Sarah that was when I first met the boy in white. And that was something we kind of knew, that the boy in white first appears to Victor the morning of the 1978 massacre, and kind of was his only companion there for a while. I mean, we're still not 100% sure exactly how long Victor was just by himself until new arrivals came around. Was Donna the next arrival? It seems like Donna has been there the second longest after Victor. But Donna's only been there for around 3 years or so, I believe. So that stands to reason there is a huge time gap that is just completely unaccounted for. Now, was Victor just completely on his own that entire time? Or were there some other arrivals in between then and Donna that just didn't make it, that were subsequently killed off and just didn't last long? That's one question that we still don't know. Just how long was Victor on his own for? But it seems like it was a while. However long it was, it certainly wasn't a small duration of time. It seems like Victor was on his own for a long time. And I think we see the effects of that, the consequences of that in terms of the trauma that Victor has been through, not only seeing this massacre happen or waking up to seeing the aftermath of this massacre, but then being alone, being isolated with no friends, no family members, no one to talk to other than this ghastly boy in white entity that's popping up every once in a while, super creepy like. You know, that's the kind of thing, that kind of isolation is going to have a long-term effect on a kid. And I feel like that's one of the factors as to why Victor is the way he is now. I mean, he's been through so much trauma, yes, but he's also been isolated for a very long time as well. And that isolation can do a lot of damage to a child's psyche, to the point where Victor still hasn't really fully recovered. I mean, he's still kind of in that 10-year-old mindset. So yeah, like you said, Snug, I can't wait to see this scene, and I'm really hoping we learn something new about this massacre event. You know, it's been such a touchstone within the show. Like within the fandom, there are a few big kind of touchstone events that people point to, whether it's the Colony House massacre in season 1, or whether it's this event, you know, that they flash back to in season 1, the original 1978 massacre. These are like the big kind of touchstone, cornerstone events that the show are kind of built around. So hell yeah, I want to learn a little bit more about this massacre. How did it really happen? What was Christopher's part in it? It seemed like Christopher might have played some kind of part in this massacre based on some of the stuff we hear from Victor about Victor and Eloise's mother telling them to go hide somewhere where Christopher can't find you. And then boom, the next morning they wake up and the massacre happens. Does that mean Christopher had some part to play in this massacre? Like, there's just so many questions surrounding this massive event. And who knows, maybe we'll get a little hint in episode 4 that'll give us some more context as to what really happened.
Yeah, hopefully we get some solid answers. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I hope so. I certainly hope so. And of course, we still got to learn a lot more about what the heck is going on with the boy in white. There's still so much about this character that is just complete mystery. We have no idea what this character really wants. Whose side is he really on? That's been a pretty interesting kind of conversation within the fandom, where you kind of have half of the fans thinking the boy in white is good and he's there to help, And then you also have a portion of the fandom that think the boy in white really is going to turn out to be a little bit more nefarious, maybe a little evil. Maybe he's got his own plan that isn't in the best interest of the townsfolk. So that's going to be very interesting to see where his character ultimately ends up. And I guess that can be one of the poll questions that I set up right now as I get ready to set it up and ask everybody in the chat, what do you guys think about the boy in white? Do you think the boy in white is sus? Do you think the boy in white ultimately is going to help? Is the boy in white evil, or is he good? Let me set up that poll right now, and we can see what you guys have to say. What about you, Snug? I kind of go back and forth on it all the time. I feel like there is some evidence pointing to the boy in white potentially being not, very not being good. There is some evidence pointing to him maybe being a little bit more on the side of evil. Maybe, I don't know.
I think he's got his own agenda. Yeah, I think he's got his own agenda. I don't know what we know what it is. I still think he's probably the alabaster dragon. That's what I kind of think that he'll wind up being. That's his real form that he'll take at some point.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the heck's going on with him. I mean, I feel like there's definitely some interesting evidence pointing to both. I feel whether he's good, whether he's evil, I don't really know. Again, I mean, part of me wants to hope he really is here to help, but part of me does kind of, you can't just, like I say, you can't ignore the sus. You just can't ignore some of these signs that point to the boy in white potentially. Maybe just having his own agenda. Maybe he's not good or evil. Maybe he just simply has his own agenda, kind of thing. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the chat. It looks like the poll should be up. Awesome stuff. Let me refresh this. Let me refresh this live chat. Q&A. All right, the poll should be up. What do you guys think? Is the boy in white evil? Yes or no? Actually, I don't know if that one's working.
I think it's not coming up as a poll.
All right, let me end that. Let's confirm that. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I saw my mistake. Let me pull this back up. Here we go, guys. Poll is coming. Is the boy in white evil? Is this little dude evil? I don't know, man. Again, it's tough. It's hard to call. It is hard to call. Is the boy in white on the level, or is the boy in white evil? There we go. The poll should be coming up right now. Vote on it. Let us know what you guys think. Is the boy in white evil? Is he there to ultimately help? Or do you think it might be something different? Do you think that maybe the boy in white just might simply have his own agenda? Again, I really want to hope that he's there to help. The way that he kind of pushes Tabitha out of the window, yes, it's a little bit sus, but, the dialogue ahead of it is what kind of points to him maybe really trying to help in terms of, I'm sorry, this is the only way. But then you start to think of how the boy in white lured Tabitha up there in the first place. The boy in white specifically mimics the sound of the Ankui children just to lure Tabitha to the top of the lighthouse.
I'm sorry. I really am. This is the only way.
Oof, man, oh man, oh man. What is up with the boy in white? Is he here to help? Is he a little more nefarious? What do you guys think? So far, it looks like 55% of the poll so far is saying no, he is not evil. So, okay, pretty close to split down the middle, but so far, no is winning just by a little bit. So yeah, vote. Let us know what you guys think. Is the boy in white evil? Is he there to help? And let us know some of your comments down in the comment section as well. What do you guys think about the boy in white? And what do you think his ultimate plan might be? And I saw a few people in the chat kind of agreeing with your sentiment, Snug, in terms of that maybe he's not evil and maybe he's not good. Maybe he just simply has his own agenda and he's using the pieces on the board to, to fulfill whatever his plan is. There's also been some pretty interesting theories that have been saying that maybe the boy in white is kind of bound to some other higher entity. Maybe he's serving some other higher entity or is forced to serve some other kind of higher entity. Maybe the boy in white doesn't completely have his own agency. Maybe he is tied to something else. Again, all really good theories. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I go back and forth on whether this boy in white is really there to help or if he just has his own plan. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. I hope they won't pull off Henry before he sees his son Victor. I really hope not too. And I'm right there with you. I really hope we get that reunion scene. And not just for the sake of reunion, but to see some of the dialogue that Victor and Henry might share in terms of, what will it reveal? It seems like Henry probably has a plethora of information on this place that he still hasn't revealed, just based on the things that he's heard from Miranda over the years, everything that she was seeing, everything she was painting. So I have to imagine Henry probably has some other information that might be pretty useful.
Well, he won't even. It'd be interesting to see if they do reunite, when that will be, because the ambulance gets there at night and it goes to Colony House, but it seems like Victor is probably not at Colony House if he's still with Sarah in whatever house there is. So it might not be the next day until they meet, and maybe Henry won't survive the night. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
I guess we shall find out. Yes, that's right. We will find out in less than 40 minutes from now, guys. We are less than 40 minutes away from episode 4 hitting our screens. And of course, right when episode 4 does hit, we will end this stream right at around midnight, maybe a few minutes before, so everybody will have plenty of time to go and get their episode set up and get ready to watch. But as soon as you guys are done watching the episode, if you are choosing to watch it at midnight, as soon as we are done watching the episode, I will be hopping into the Discord, into the voice chat, and we will be discussing all things episode 4 in a very nice late night discussion in the Discord voice chat. And everybody is welcome to come and hang out with us over there as we dive into episode 4 together and just see what exactly we can learn about this crazy, crazy world that is Fromville. So again, anybody who is planning on watching the episode at midnight when it does drop, you are more than welcome, if you want to come and join us in the Discord afterwards, and we will be doing a live voice chat, and we will be talking about all things episode 4. And we're getting closer and closer now, guys. Closer and closer now. Wow, almost 450 people in here. That is so awesome to see. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us for a little bit. And I'm super, super appreciative that anybody chooses to kind of come and kill some time with us for a little bit while we wait for the new episode to load up. So can't thank each and every one of you enough for all of the support you guys have shown the channel this year. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan, my mom died. Then my second mom died. Then the woman who tried killing me saved my life. You wouldn't get it living your Disney dream world. Confirms. This is a good point, Tyler B. Tyler B. always with the good points. That's why I very much like Tyler. Good stuff, man. I thought Tabitha would be gone longer, and Ethan turns into little Victor. He is a bit creepy. There's a lot of similarities there, aren't there? You know, between Victor and young Ethan. Like, there's a lot of similar traits and similar kind of themes we see being played between those two characters. But no, I'm right there with you as well, Jay, in terms of like, I was really hoping Tabitha wasn't going to come back this soon. I just feel like it's a little too soon for her to be back. It's just, it's a little anticlimactic. I mean, I have a feeling it's still going to be a very good story. I'm still very much looking forward to seeing where it goes. But yeah, I was really hoping that Tabitha was going to have a much longer journey before she comes back to Fromville. And not only that, it would make the reunion that much more of a better payoff when it does eventually happen. And we've talked a lot about this in the past, and a lot of people have compared this to Lost. Now, of course, Lost and From share a ton of similarities in tone, in story, in theme. But one thing that Lost did really well was separating characters for a long duration of time, only to have like a really awesome, profound reunion way later on. And when those characters did finally reunite, the payoff was just so much better because they spent so much time apart from each other. So while I am kind of excited to see where Tabitha's storyline is going to go, it's cool to see that she is back. I was kind of hoping that her story was going to be in the real world for at least a little bit longer. I mean, only 4 episodes, not even, only 3 episodes, and she's already back. Like, man, that's super quick.
But that's why I think that she's not back, because it's just from a story, just from what you mentioned about the Lost. It's like it would be really disappointing story-wise if she was already back, because they've set up so much of the separation with her and the kids. Jim, she doesn't really care to get back with him, I'm pretty sure. But the kids, she probably misses her kids. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like that she should definitely spend a lot more time away.
I was hoping she would gonna. I was really hoping she was gonna. And I do think she is back, and it does seem a little too fast. But if she's not really back, that could be an interesting storyline to see how that plays out. But just seeing how these other characters from the ambulance, at least one of them we know for sure ends up in the town, that's leading me to believe that she is back. But if she goes a different direction from the ambulance, if she splits from the ambulance, who knows what could potentially happen. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Looks like this is going to be a very good episode, guys. I hope they have Tabby coming into town with loose lips. I hope she talks so much they call her Blabby Tabby. If she keeps her mouth shut, I will be so mad. And I mean, you bring up a very good point, Glue Guns and Roses. And this is a point, a lot of you guys have been talking about this all season. And not only just this season, last season as well, in terms of characters just not really sharing a whole lot of information with each other. And certainly they're not sharing a whole lot of their personal encounters that they went through. Boyd comes back to town and he doesn't want to tell anybody of anything that happened to him in the forest. Jim and Donna hear the voice over the radio. Donna doesn't want Jim talking about it to anybody. Victor and Tabitha find out the monsters are sleeping beneath everybody's feet. We don't really get any kind of scene, at least that indicates to us that she let the entire town know, hey guys, the monsters are sleeping right beneath us, by the way. It seems like these scenes happen off screen, in between scenes, off panel, off camera. And again, sometimes you just would like to see some of these scenes just addressed actually on camera. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Tabitha reveals. I mean, how much will Tabitha say about her time in the real world? I mean, if she really was in the real world, and if she really is back in Fromville now, which I do believe she is, what exactly is she going to say? I mean, how much will she reveal about everything she saw out there? What will she tell Jim? What will she tell the town? I don't know, but hopefully she spills it all, as Glue Guns puts it. I mean, hopefully she goes full on Blabby Tabby. I think that might be a new nickname, Blabby Tabby. I like that. That's a good one. That is a good one. Spiros says, I could see the boy in white being a quote-unquote gray character, not really good, but not entirely bad. And I can definitely see that being the case as well. And part of me almost leans a little bit more into that possibility over him just simply being good or evil. I don't feel like it's going to be that simple. I feel like everything we know about Fromville, about this show From as a whole, nothing really seems to be that simple where we're seeing things are just straight up black or white. It seems like things are a little bit more complicated than that for the most part. So yeah, I think you and as Snuggy brought up earlier, I think you guys could be absolutely right. I think maybe it's just, it's one of those cases where he's not good, he's not evil, he's just maybe one of those kind of gray characters that just has his own agenda kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
Any comparison to Lost frightens me. And some people have that sentiment. I actually love the connection because I'm one of the few who actually loved Lost, and I loved the ending. I got every answer I was looking for in that show, and I feel like, if people didn't like the ending to Lost, that is totally fine. Everybody is, welcome to like or dislike, any ending they want. But in my opinion, to say Lost didn't provide answers is kind of factually incorrect, because if a lot of the answers are right there if you pay attention closely enough. Yes, some of them are a little bit more hidden, and some of them you kind of really got to dig for. But if you watch Lost with a very attentive eye, like how we're watching From, you will get all the answers explained to you by the end of the series. They don't really leave a whole lot of stones unturned. You get pretty definitive answers to just about everything in terms of what the island really was, why they were really chosen, Jacob and the Smoke Monster origins, some of the weird properties of the island, the Dharma Initiative, time travel. Everything does end up getting explained in the end. So while I totally understand not everybody liked the Lost ending, which is totally fine. Again, everybody is welcome to like or dislike anything they want, obviously. But in terms of Lost not providing answers, that's kind of where that's just where I disagree, I guess, a little bit. And everybody's welcome to their own opinion, of course. But for me, I got every answer I was looking for by the time Lost ended. Everything, all the big mysteries, they were all pretty much answered, and most of them pretty definitively for the most part. And I think a lot of the misconception comes from the ending, and the ending kind of being a little misinterpreted. Now, some people see the ending to Lost, and I should be careful because I don't want to spoil too much, because I know there are some people in the chat right now that are actively watching Lost and they haven't seen the ending yet. So for those people, I'll keep it kind of vague. But I do think some parts of the ending were a little bit misinterpreted because the way they conveyed it was a little bit ambiguous at times. So I could totally understand why people might have interpreted the ending to mean one thing when really it meant something totally different. Even I had trouble with the ending of Lost until I really sat down and watched the show like 2 or 3 more times and really kind of started to look at the themes and some of the overall messages that they were playing with and the overall intent that I think they were trying to showcase. But it took me a while. I really had to kind of really sit down and watch every scene with Lost with the very heavy detective style lens, very much to how we're watching From right now, how we're dissecting every little thing we see. And that can be fun at times, especially with a show like this that is so predicated on the mystery aspect. It's fun to kind of dive into some of the other more weird, obscure things that are happening in the background that you wonder, is this going to mean something a little bit more down the road? Is this just a red herring to throw us off kind of deal? And Lost and From are super similar in that regard, where you kind of have to learn to kind of distinguish the things that are meaningful and the things that are just red herrings, because there are some blatant red herrings in Lost, and there are a few in From as well. But I think for the most part, a lot of the mystery aspects will most likely get answered, and I'm hoping they have some pretty good answers for them. It seems like the writers of From, or the creator of From, John Griffin, I mean, the guy seems to be like for all intents and purposes, a very genius writer. And it seems like he already knows exactly where this show is going in terms of all of the big answers, in terms of all of the ending. John Griffin knows exactly where this show is going. So that gives me confidence that it is going to kind of have a complete and cohesive storyline by the time this whole thing is said and done. Like when we look back on From, when it's completely done and over, however many seasons they get, whether it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, who knows? But when the show is completely done and over, I do get the feeling that, everything will be wrapped up as neatly as possible, because it does seem like John Griffin knows exactly what he wants to do with the show and where it is ultimately going. So I have faith, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Long story short, I have faith in the writers behind From, and I very much have faith that they're going to complete this story in a satisfying way. But I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see.
I agree. I think it's going well, so that's good.
It's going well so far. I mean, yes, I mean, I know there are a lot of people that want some more answers, and I totally understand that. I mean, they have been a little light on the answers up until this point, but from all intents and purposes, from what we've heard from the cast and crew, this is going to be the season where we do finally start to get those answers. And I feel like, I mean, we're
Yeah.
only 3 episodes in, so I'm not really expecting big answers to come until around episode 5, 6, and beyond. The second half of the season is probably when more of the bigger stuff will happen. But I feel like we're already starting to get some answers only 3
Hmm.
episodes in, like in terms of the entire backstory to Victor and his family, which is something we've all been wondering ever since season 1. What happened with Victor? How did he and his family get stuck here? Why does Victor never want to talk about his family? I feel like, again, only 3 episodes in, we've already pretty much learned the entire backstory of how Victor and his family got stuck here. And on top of that, a lot of us were wondering, how exactly did Victor's mother know everything she knew? I mean, she seemed to know
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
very interesting details about this place. Like, she knew about the Ankui children. She knew that she had to rescue the children. She knew that there was potentially a way out in the tower, in the lighthouse. How did she, we were all wondering, how did she know all of this stuff? And now we're
Hmm.
learning in this season that apparently she was having dreams and visions of this place before she even got stuck here. So again, I
Yeah.
do feel like, even though it's only 3 episodes in, and these are definitely a little bit smaller answers, I feel like they are already starting to give us something. But hopefully the bigger answers will come a little bit later on in the season, especially during the last 2 episodes in season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3, the last 2 episodes, episode 9 and 10, are titled Revelations Part 1 and Part 2. And, anytime you see Revelations, you think, okay, there's probably going to be some kind of big reveal at the end of the season. So I can't wait
Yeah.
to
I
see
gotta
what that
show
reveal is
something.
going to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be good.
Yeah.
But it looks like we got a new member. Wow. Thank
Welcome.
you so much, Steph1816, for becoming a new member of the channel. You are most welcome here, my friend. Thank you so much for the support. And of course, all members of the channel get access to all of the custom Fromville emojis that we have down there, along with others. And of course, do not be shy to spam the crap out of those emojis. Have fun with them. And of course, anyone who is a member of the channel, if any of you have any specific requests for some new emojis that you want to be made, leave your suggestions in the comment section after the stream ends, and that is probably where I will have the most likely chance to see them. I don't always get to see them here in the live chat because there's so many of you in here dropping some awesome stuff. I try to catch as much of it as possible. But after the stream ends and the regular comment section opens up, just like any other YouTube video, if anybody does have any specific requests for some new custom emojis, drop them down there in the comment section and I will make it happen. Awesome stuff.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, this last
Man.
episode, it seems like they gave us a lot more. I was a little annoyed when I watched it the first time, because it seemed like they just gave us a whole lot more puzzle pieces, and they kind of threw us in a different direction. But I watched it again, and I thought, well, maybe they're setting up these pieces, and they're going to they're going to give us more information sooner about what's going on with what they set up. So I think with Victor's going to tell us some things, we'll get something from whatever happens with the ambulance. But I think that, I'm looking forward to the next episode. I want to see what's going to happen.
I am too. Like, again, it definitely seems like episode 3 was a little bit more of a setup episode, yes, and they were definitely they were maneuvering some pieces into place for this episode in particular, in terms of the ambulance, the Victor and Sarah stuff, the Jade stuff at Cannibal Village, knocking down the totem. It seems like they were clearly setting some interesting things up to happen in this episode. And again, I'm looking forward to it because it does look like we're going to get the payoff this season for sure. This episode, in terms of some of the things they did set up.
Right, and they gave Boyd the way to trap the monsters. They got the bear trap. That's what they're going to use to trap the monsters.
Yes, they did. Yes, yeah, that's a very interesting possibility. Could the bear trap potentially be the start of trapping one of these monsters? The only thing I'm a little bit worried about with that is it looks like Jade broke the safety mechanism on the bear trap, so I'm not sure they're even going to be able to set that thing again. Maybe they might be able to, but it looks like Jade broke it. But who knows? Maybe they'll find some way to still utilize it, because I know a lot of people were thinking that as well, and that kind of popped into my head too. Could this bear trap potentially be used for Boyd to trap one of these monsters? I don't know. I don't know. That's the
Jim's an
thing. There's so much
engineer.
about these.
Yeah,
Jim's an engineer, yeah.
He can be useful
Maybe he
for a
can
change.
fix it. Maybe it can be useful. Yeah, I don't know. And would a bear trap even hold one of these monsters is the question. I mean, these things,
Worth a
we have no
shot.
idea what they're. Yeah, it's worth a shot. It's definitely worth trying at least. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Will it work? I don't know, but worth a shot. I mean, it's a better plan than anything else they've come up with, I suppose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. How do you get the emojis? LOL says Dolly. The emojis are available to anybody who becomes a member of the channel. YouTube allows us to create custom emojis that paid members of the channel can use. So anybody that becomes a member of the channel at whatever level, you get instant access to all of the custom emojis. And you can become a member pretty easily just by going to the main homepage, and there should be a join button that says join. And if you click on that, that should tell you how to become a member. But again, that is where the emojis come from. It's just YouTube's way of, us as content creators, we give something back to the chat for people that are supporting the channel, people that do become members. It's our way of giving something to the chat that they can have, something custom that only members have access to, kind of thing, I guess. And that's what I do here. I make my emojis out of custom From emojis, and it'll be based on whatever show we're covering at the time. Like when House of the Dragon was on, we had tons of custom House of the Dragon emojis. There's still a few that are actually still left. I always keep my House Stark and my House Targaryen emojis close at hand because I am a big A Song of Ice and Fire fan. But during Shogun, we cover Shogun on this channel as well. When Shogun was on, we had a lot of different Shogun custom emojis. Now that it is From time, we have a bunch of From custom emojis. And again, yeah, it's basically just something for the channel members to use to show their support for the channel, and it's super appreciative. I can't thank everybody enough who supports the channel, whether you're a member or not. That doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, I'm super grateful to everybody who becomes a member. But even if you're just here hanging out with us and giving us your thoughts and your opinions and just spending your time with us, that in and of itself is more than a reward. I can't thank everybody enough for all the support. You guys have been absolutely just rock stars in the friggin' chat, not just tonight, but every single night. So again, can't thank everybody enough for all the support. You guys have been freaking rock stars. And yes, the LSD references is a huge giveaway to MK Ultra.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, there are some kind of interesting, weird kind of MK Ultra-y themes we see on the show, and I have seen some other people bring that up in the past. So you're among good company, Jonathan. Maybe, yeah, who knows? I feel like the LSD thing, it was a very weird specific reference, wasn't it? It almost seemed like it was a specific line setting something up. And we also see this happen in other characters as well. Not only were not only were Henry and Miranda taking acid, and Miranda attributes the acid as to what is, that was the thing that kind of awakened her visions. But we also look at Jade's character as well. And if we notice in season 1, episode 1, when Jade first arrives in town, he was definitely on some kind of tryptamine. A lot of people think that he was just high. He was not just high. Like anyone who knows anything about tryptamines and hallucinogenics, if you look at Jade and the symptoms he was displaying upon entering Fromville, you see the kind of mess that he was. That wasn't just your average, normal, everyday high. He was most definitely on some kind of tryptamine or some kind of hallucinogenic. And we're seeing, look at the effect that had on Jade. Jade ends up having all these weird-ass visions ever since he's been in Fromville. And a lot of people have been wondering, is there something to the altered state of consciousness upon entering Fromville that has some kind of effect on people? Because we saw this happen with Elgin as well. Elgin was asleep when he entered Fromville, and we see he's been plagued with all of these dreams and all of these weird visions ever since. Tabitha was asleep upon entering Fromville as well after the car accident. She's been kind of having these weird visions and weird experiences as well. Is there something to the altered state of consciousness does that have some kind of effect? Is that some kind of determining factor as to why some of these characters have some of these visions? Maybe I know it's been a popular fan theory, and I think it's an interesting theory. I think it fits in a lot of ways. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Snug? You think there's something about the altered state of consciousness? Could that play a role in why some of these people are getting some of these visions?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, the MK Ultra thing kind of ties into maybe it's a simulation, which
Ooh,
again, it's not the one I want, but you know,
yeah.
that could be what it is that they're getting something or they're taking something and they're winding up, as part of some big experiment because they keep going back to that a lot. And whether it's
Mm,
possible it's a red herring, but maybe it's not. Maybe there's something more to it than we think. I don't know.
yeah, maybe it could be. And yeah, Jade was very much giving off some of those MDMA
Yeah,
ecstasy
yeah, yeah.
vibes. Ecstasy and MDMA, ecstasy was the first thing I thought of, especially because you see like Jade's reaction to things. Like he's like, "Oh, look at everybody! They've got such beautiful faces." He's touching things all weird. Very clear signs of some kind of MDA or ecstasy vibe. So yeah, I'm with you,
Hmm.
Indigo. I think you might be right. It was probably a tryptamine or a hallucinogenic in that kind of realm, maybe. Yeah.
Hmm.
Jade showing up tripping is very suspect after knowing what we know. Yeah, is it a little bit sus? Maybe. Maybe. Jade tripping balls. I like the MK Ultra theory because it would connect to my hospital theory. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Awesome
yeah.
stuff, guys. Yeah, I like it. I like it. The final countdown, says Vic. Absolutely, Vic, my pal. Hell yes, my friend. We are getting closer and closer now, guys. We are just 15 minutes away from season 3, episode 4, hitting our screens. We are getting close now, guys. Time is almost upon us. Almost time. Man, and since it's almost time, I guess now is as good a time as any to play some interesting, fun Jade clips.
Oh, yeah.
Like this one.
Oh, Christ. Are you people living here now?
Our house collapsed.
What? At least you had one. It's not my fault you broke it.
Hey, take it easy.
You finally get rid of those 3 smelly hippies from Colony House, and now we got you people.
That's a great one.
All right, ding-dongs. It's almost go time. Anybody fucks this up, you spend a night in the box.
All right, ding dongs, it's almost go time. Yes, it is. It is almost go time. This is another. I really like this one too.
The immediate question is, how do we get home, right? How do we get out? How do we get out of here? Because unless we know where here is, we can't get out of here. It's like this. It's like hitting a bullseye with your eyes closed, right? You're just throwing them blind. You don't even fucking know where the fucking target is. Maybe it's over here. I don't know. Maybe it's just like with that one.
Whoa.
Throwing it.
Come on.
Oh man, I mean, you can never get enough of Jade. He's just the guy is just—he's got some of the best dialogue on
Mhm.
this show, in my opinion. I actually really like this one as well. This one's good.
Those people, they got on my bus. It was my job to get them where they were going.
All right, tell me something. Does your pity party come with music? Will you be serving finger sandwiches? Look, it's not your fault, okay?
We'll be serving finger sandwiches.
And Alicia upgraded her membership. Nice.
Oh wow, Alicia
Appreciate it.
upgraded the membership. Wow, thank you so much. Wow, that's incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much for the support. And again, you are most welcome here, my friend. That is awesome. Of course, make use of all of those custom from emojis. And if you have any specific requests for any new from emojis that you want, please drop your suggestions in the comment section after the stream ends. Not here in the live chat, but actually when the stream ends and the regular comment section opens like any other YouTube video, drop your suggestions down there. And this goes for anybody that's a member of the channel. anybody that has a suggestion for any kind of new From emojis that you guys want, drop them in the comment sections. That is where the Dale emoji came from. We got some interesting requests for a Dale emoji started by my pal Star down there. Star has saddled me with Dale at the beginning of the season, and I have not been able to get rid of Dale ever since. So thank you so much, Star, my pal. But yes, anybody who has any requests for some custom emojis, you guys are more than welcome to drop those suggestions down in the comment section. And if it's possible for me to make an emoji out of it, I definitely will. But thank you so much for upgrading your membership. And that means I owe you another woe. If I can find the woe. Ah, where's the woe? There's the woe. Thank you. So thank you so much. Thank you all so much. But now here we go, guys. We are getting closer and closer now. We are just 11 minutes, 10 minutes away now. The clock just clicked over 11:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are just 10 minutes away from episode 4 hitting our screens. Who is ready, guys? Who is ready? How does one become a member? One becomes a member by, if you look at the super chat feature down in the bottom right portion of your chat, right when you go to put in your chat, if you look at the right, you'll see something that looks like a little bit of a money sign. If you click on that, it should open up a pop-up menu, and that should show you a member for memberships. If you click on that, that'll show you the steps that you can take to become a member. It's pretty simple. If you don't see that there, because it's different depending on what device you're on, whether you're on a phone or a tablet or a computer. If you don't see that there, if you go to my main home YouTube page, like the main home page on my YouTube channel, there should be a button that says join. And if you click on that button, that should show you the steps to become a member of the channel. It's pretty simple. You only have to click a button or two. But again, it is certainly not required. I mean, I try not to. I never ask for memberships, because you guys simply just showing up here and spending your time hanging out with us is more than reward enough. But for anybody that does choose to become members, I thought, let's make some awesome custom emojis for you guys, so you guys had some something fun to use. And you can use the custom emojis in the live chat here, but you can also use the custom emojis in the regular comment section as well. Like when I upload my regular episode 4, my regular episode 4 breakdown video that isn't a live stream, just a regular recorded video, you can use the custom emojis in that comment section as well. So you can use them on both places. So yeah, again, thank you guys so much. Big thank you to everybody who became a member tonight. Huge thank you to all of the gifted memberships. I mean, we have so many awesome supporters here that gift memberships almost every time we go live. And it's just so crazy to see the support that I just never in a million years would have expected any kind of support, for anything we do, really. I mean, I'm just a fan like everybody else. But again, it's so awesome to see this really cool community that we're trying to grow and trying to cultivate here around this awesome show that we all know and love, and some of the other shows that we love, like House of the Dragon, Yellow Jackets, Shogun, Teacup, a brand spanking new show that just started on Peacock, which From fans will definitely like. There's only been 2 episodes so far. They're only half hour long each, but they release 2 a week, so it's like getting an hour-long episode each week. There's only been 2 so far. It's on the Peacock streaming service, and boy, is it so good. I am already completely hooked on Teacup. It's super similar to From. Again, if you're a From fan, you'll probably like Teacup. So check that one out if you guys haven't had a chance to already. Next week, we will be diving in and doing a Teacup stream right here on the channel. And I think I'm probably going to be putting out some recorded videos on it as well. I'm working on my episode 1 and 2 breakdown right now. I'm going to try and get that up on the channel by some point next week. But anybody who hasn't seen Teacup yet, I highly recommend checking it out. It's definitely a show that From fans will probably really enjoy. It's got some similar vibes, some similar tones, some similar themes, and a very interesting kind of mystery aspect to it as well, and a really good cast. I'm a big Scott Speedman fan, and he's one of the main characters in this. And people might remember Scott Speedman from maybe the Underworld movies. He played the hybrid Michael in the Underworld movies, the half vampire, half werewolf creature. He was really good in those movies. He was also in Animal Kingdom, which was another phenomenal show that ran for around 6 seasons. Really, really good show. He was one of the main characters on that for a time. So yeah, anybody who hasn't checked out Teacup yet, I would highly recommend checking that one out, because we're definitely going to be talking about some Teacup here on the channel next week. Again, we'll definitely be doing at least a few live streams on it, and I will be putting out a recorded breakdown on the first 2 episodes. So definitely check that out as well. And of course, along with plenty of the awesome From content that we have in store for you guys all throughout the rest of the season, including a very special From Season 3 Trivia Night giveaway stream that we are going to be doing here on the channel. And I'm working with some other people that are helping out. I know Dana and Scarlett are going to be helping us out with this a little bit as well. Dana is going to be donating some custom From t-shirts. Awesome custom Fromville t-shirts that you guys can win. And I'm also working with some people that are trying to get some 3D printed talismans that we are also going to be giving away on Trivia Night. Nick L in the chat, who has been so awesome and has offered to help out a little bit in this regard, and I think I might take him up on his offer. Nick L seems to be a really, really good at the whole 3D printing thing. He's already printed out tons of these 3D printed talismans, and boy, do they look so freaking cool. So we are working.
Nice.
I'm going to try and work on something along those lines to get some 3D printed talismans made up, and the t-shirts that Dana is also going to be donating. And we are going to be doing a From Trivia Night live stream giveaway, probably right around during the midway point of the season, maybe around episode 6 or so, maybe 7 the latest. I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row to get it set up. But we will be doing a From Trivia Night giveaway at some point in the future. And of course, I will let everybody know well ahead of time when that stream is going to be happening, so everybody knows when and exactly where we will be doing it. And of course, everybody is welcome to participate and come and hang out and answer some From trivia questions and potentially maybe win some cool From stuff along with it. But that is something we are planning. And again, I will keep everybody posted on that. Awesome stuff, guys. Well, it looks like we are getting ready to kick this thing off, guys. Episode 4 is just 4 minutes away now. Less than 4 minutes away for episode 4 hitting our screens. And I see you down there, Star. Dale is my spirit animal. You're not going to let me live this down, huh? Star is not letting me forget. Dale is my spirit animal. Oh man, yeah. You know what? I'll accept it. I shall accept it. I appreciate Jeremy though, the other Jeremy in the chat, pointing out that Dale is my real spirit animal. That I agree with. But no, Star wants to saddle me with good old Dale. Oh man. But no, awesome stuff, guys. This has been such a fun stream. I really do very much enjoy looking forward to. There it is. Dale is your spirit animal. Yeah, yeah. Very funny. Very funny. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. But no, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. This has been a freaking awesome pregame stream. Probably one of the most fun pregame streams we've had, actually, really. I mean, we do these every week. And every week they're a freaking blast. But tonight was a really awesome blast. I can't thank everybody enough for coming out and joining us. Yeah, this was such a fun one. This was a very fun one. And thank you so much for that, Vic. There is the membership link if anybody was looking for it. You can become a member of the channel right there. But again, that's something I really try not to promote too often, because I hate feeling like I'm asking my chat for anything. You'll never hear me ask for super chats or anything like that. I'll never ask for anything like that. I mean, the only thing that I'll ever ask for is for you guys to just come and hang out with us and share your thoughts and theories. That's the only thing you guys will ever hear me ask. But that does not mean that I do not 100% really appreciate all of the support that all of you guys give us, whether it's the members, the super chats, the gifted memberships. I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. of how much that means to me and how much of that support means. And it really is helping me, you know, at one point, hopefully achieving my ultimate goal. I would love to be able to do YouTube full time at some point. I do still have a full 9-to-5 job. I am a construction worker. I have a small construction business with my brother-in-law. And I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I love building houses for a living. It's something I do take great pride in. But the ultimate goal, one day, maybe one day years from now, hopefully I can start doing YouTube full time. And that is the ultimate dream. But I love getting on here. I love talking and hanging out with each and every one of you, diving into this show and other shows, into the mystery, into the intrigue, seeing where the heck this crazy friggin' story is going to go. So again, I can't thank everybody enough for all the support. You guys have been freaking rock stars through and through, and we will continue. We shall continue to go live every single week right here on the channel, diving into all things From, and I cannot wait to see where the rest of this season goes, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of you guys think about this season, and where you guys think about episode 4 in particular. We are going to get ready to close it down now, but of course, anyone who is planning on staying up and watching the episode when it drops right at midnight, if you want to, come and hang out with us in the Discord afterwards. I will be in the Discord voice chat talking with anybody who wants to come and hang out, and we will be diving into all things episode 4 tonight. A nice little late night Discord voice chat. We do these every week after the episode drops. So again, anyone who's planning on watching it, come on and hang out with us. Dive into the Discord when you're done, and we will dive into episode 4 together. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And if anybody doesn't have access to it and they want to watch it, looks like Scarlett is going to be streaming the episode in her Discord. So if you guys want to hop over there and watch it there, and then when you guys are done watching, hop over to our Discord for the voice chat, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And that is an awesome service that Scarlett and Dana have been providing every week. Awesome stuff, guys. Thank you so much for that. And of course, tomorrow night, right here on the channel, we will be doing our live watch party that we do every Sunday night. Right here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be going live for a little 1-hour pregame show, and then at 9 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing our live watch party right here on the channel for episode 4. So even if you've already seen it and you want to just come back for an encore viewing, that is totally cool. You guys are all more than welcome, because after the watch party ends, we also discuss the episode in vivid detail. So again, big thank you to each and every one of you for hanging out with us. You guys have been so supportive, and I just can't thank each and every one of you enough. We are going to get ready to close it down now, but as soon as the episode is done, after you guys are done watching, anybody who wants to come and hang out with us in the Discord will be more than welcome to. We will be diving into all things episode 4 and beyond, and seeing where this crazy friggin' story goes next. But until next time, big thank you to everybody, and everybody who is down there in the South, down in the affected area of these awful hurricanes. You have my thoughts and prayers go out to each and every single one of you. I hope everybody's friends, family, and loved ones are all safe and accounted for. I mean, it seems like there was some pretty devastating destruction in some parts of the country because of these hurricanes, and you hate seeing stuff like that. So I really want to just give a heartfelt thoughts and prayers out to each and every one of you that were down there in the affected area. And I am going to be trying to set up some kind of hurricane relief stream that we're going to be doing at some point, where it'll be strictly a donation hurricane relief stream. I'm going to try and find a really good charity, a charity where the money is actually really going to the victims, because I know there can be a lot of scam charities out there, which is unfortunate. You hate to see stuff like that. But I am going to be doing some research, and I'm going to try and find a really good, reputable charity that is really doing some good down there, that is helping some of these hurricane victims out, because the devastation looks really bad in some of these neighborhoods. So we will be diving in. And as soon as I get that all kind of situated and set up, I will let everybody know about the details. And I might even reach out to a few other From creators to see if they want to kind of help and be a part of it as well. But I am working on that. Again, I need to do some research and find a really good charity, one that I know is really helping out people down there that really need it. So again, big thank you to each and every one of you for all of the support. we are going to close it down now. But anyone who's getting ready to go watch the episode, go watch it, get ready, have a freaking blast. And when you are done watching it, pop on over to our Discord, and we'll be hanging out in the voice chat talking about all things episode 4 and beyond. But until next time, for me and my awesome pal Snuggie Jr. and my awesome pal Ravener who joined us earlier, thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have shown us. It really does mean the world to us. And until next time, keep those tinfoil hats on, folks. Stay safe out there in this crazy, crazy world. Be kind to one another. And as always, we will see you on the next one.
Later.
Bow.
Bow.